जैसे ये वाला टॉपिक है, ठीक है, इसको हम कल कवर करेंगे। लेट मी जस्ट गिव यू रिकैप, है ना। रिकैप क्या मतलब, अभी बता दूं क्या क्या हम कल कवर करेंगे। जैसे ये टाइमलाइन है, मेसोपोटामिया, इंडस, इजिप्शियन एज वेल एज चाइनीज सिविलाइजेशन। वी डू नॉट स्टडी देम इन द मेन बुक्स। अब आप पढ़ लीजिए बेसिक से कोई भी बुक, उसमें ये सब मेंशन होगा ही नहीं। कोई भी मतलब स्टैंडर्ड बुक उपिंदर सिंह कर लो, रणबीर चक्रवर्ती कर लो, कुछ नहीं दिया हुआ इनके बारे में। बट जो इन्फॉर्मेशन इसमें दी हुई है, इट्स समथिंग विच गोइंग टू हेल्प यू इन योर आंसर राइटिंग। व्हाट आर द फीचर्स ऑफ एंशिएंट सिविलाइजेशंस, ओके। इजिप्शियन सिविलाइजेशन, अब हम सब ने मूवीज देखी है ना, ममीज वगैरह, चाइल्डहुड, है ना, मजेदार। बट वी नीड टू हैव अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑल्सो कि क्या उनके किंग को बोलते थे। डिफरेंट सिविलाइजेशंस, इजिप्शियन कहाँ है, मेसोपोटामिया। इन मेसोपोटामिया देयर वाज नॉट वन सिविलाइजेशन, देयर वर 4 सिविलाइजेशंस। अब ये नहीं पता होता, नेचुरली वी आर नॉट अवेयर, बिकॉज ये मेन स्ट्रीम बुक्स में है ही नहीं है ये वाली चीजें। सो वी आर गोइंग टू कवर अ लॉट ऑफ दिस टुमारो। पहले इसको कवर करेंगे, क्या क्या ज्योग्राफी है। अच्छे अच्छे देखो फोटोज इन्होंने दे रखे हैं रिवर नाइल के ऊपर। अब यहाँ से हिस्ट्री एक्चुअली थोड़ी कनेक्टेड शुरू हो गई। अभी तक जो हम सुन रहे हो कहानियां हैं कि हाँ ये हुआ होगा, वो हुआ होगा, दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव फाउंड, दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव फाउंड। बट हियर द मोमेंट वी गेट द राइट काइंड ऑफ सोर्सेज, लाइक their king used to have the title of pharaohs, है ना। the title of pharaohs used to be there. स्लेवरी था नहीं था, वजीर वर्ड मिडिएवल इंडिया में बहुत फेमस होने वाला है। वजीर वर्ड इज ऑलरेडी देयर इन द इजिप्शियन सिविलाइजेशन and they were the higher level officials. So many things they eventually come from these regional context. कौन उनके famous specific pharaohs और king है, किन्होंने start कराया था ये mummification और the preservation of bodies, who started this process, what was the kind of agriculture, trade, है ना, क्या क्या उनके specific art and architecture के great features हैं। जो pyramids हम देखते हैं, है ना, movies वगैरह में भी दिखाते हैं। तो what is the specific part of this, what kind of religion these people were having, animism follow करते, because you see in maximum cases human form but the head is that of an animal. So that kind of religion was being followed in Egypt. In fact, you need to understand this context. Like if you want to know about Jews in a very contextual manner, the beginning, like एक उनका एक event होता है, Moses is one person who is very important for the Exodus. तो जो Exodus होता है ना, वो pharaohs के यहीं से ही होता है, ठीक है। Exodus when these people were coming out from this domination by the Mesopotamians and they eventually go towards their own area. तो वो हमें समझना पड़ेगा मतलब किस किस एरिया से क्या क्या इवेंचुअली चल रहा है, राइटिंग सिस्टम्स कैसा है इन लोगों का। यू कैन सी दैट व्हाट द स्क्रिप्ट इज ऑल अबाउट। सो व्हेन विल अंडरस्टैंड दिस इन ब्रीफ, है ना, ऐसा नहीं बहुत ज्यादा है, 10 12 15 स्लाइड होंगे मुश्किल से। सोलर कैलेंडर सिस्टम इन्होंने डेवलप किया, पिरामिड शुरू किए, राइटिंग सिस्टम शुरू किया, प्रिजर्वेशन ऑफ ह्यूमन बॉडी एंड इवेंचुअली इवन साइंटिफिक यूज ऑफ द various methods were developed by them. Mesopotamia के बारे में हम बात करें, so when we talk about Mesopotamia, there are 4 streams of civilization. We all use the word Sumerians because these Sumerians were the one who were the contemporary with the Harappan civilization. But after the Sumerian, we also have the Akkadians. Okay, Akkadians are very important because they had one king, King Sargon. King Sargon's account writes the word Meluha. वो कहाँ से word आता है? Akkadian से। You must have heard this word, Babylonians. Okay, so that is and the last one is Assyrian. So these are the 4 civilizations which developed among the Mesopotamians, and इन्होंने उसको मीनिंग भी समझाया कि इसको मेसोपोटामिया क्यों बोलते हैं, because Meso is the word which means in between. There are 2 rivers that we have, Euphrates, and the second one is Tigris. So the word in between, Potamus means river. The river के बीच का, जैसे हमारे यहाँ दोआब वर्ड होता है ना एक तरीके से, that is what is मेसोपोटामिया। अगर दोआब वर्ड है तो दो रिवर्स के बीच का एरिया जो होता है, तो वहां पे उनको क्या बोलते हैं, मेसोपोटामिया। इट्स दैट इजी टू अंडरस्टैंड, अदरवाइज हम सोचते पता नहीं क्या होता है मेसोपोटामिया, राइट। सो इन देयर लैंग्वेज दैट्स व्हाट इट इज। यहाँ पे दोआब की तरह ही और कुछ नहीं है। ज्योग्राफी वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड, दिस इज मेलुहा, है ना, दिस इज द एरिया वेयर वी हैव द डिफरेंट सिविलाइजेशन इन बिटवीन दिलमुन एंड मगान वर्ड्स। तो कल हम इसको अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे आगे, ठीक है। आज के लिए आप लोग क्या करेंगे, वी आर गोइंग टू अपडेट व्हाटएवर वी हैव कवर्ड सो फार इन द पोर्टल। वहां तक की आपको पीपीटी हम शेयर कर देंगे, आप उसको प्लीज एक बार रिवाइज करिए। अभी हमारा देखो एक ही लॉजिक है कि जो भी हम पढ़ रहे हैं उसमें कम से कम बेसिक लेवल तक हम करना शुरू करें, और थोड़ा सा आप लोग कल 1-2 आंसर्स भी लिख के लेके आ सकते हो। ओके, सो दैट वी कैन डिस्कस कि व्हाट कुड बी द प्रोबेबल इंट्रोडक्शन फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन। एंड ऑल द ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट्स हु आर वाचिंग, प्लीज आप साथ में एक ये वाला क्वेश्चन तो आप प्लीज लिखिए, डिलिनिएट एन अकाउंट फॉर द रीजनल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ नियोलिथिक पीरियड इन इंडिया। प्लीज नोट कर लीजिए इसको, ठीक है, एक क्वेश्चन को। delineate and account for the regional characteristics of the Neolithic period in India. Yesterday we see the beginning of ancient India, covered some fundamental topics. We covered Stone Age, all three parts, which includes Paleolithic, Mesolithic as well as Neolithic. Okay, this is what we have covered yesterday. Then we also covered certain other parts, including the importance of ancient history, the various schools which are important, because nevertheless all the interpretations of ancient India, they are dependent upon different schools. तो वो हमें पढ़ना ही पढ़ना है अच्छे से. Now देखो, जो मेजर ऑब्जेक्टिव इन क्लासेस का ये है कि आपकी सारे जो बेसिक्स हैं वो कवर हो जाए. Today we'll start with one of the most important topic, and that is the beginning of civilization. Okay, civilization, it's a very heavy word. If we see, there are certain characteristics which are linked to the meaning of a civilization. This word has been worked in detail by one of the archaeologists known as V. Gordon Childe. Said there are certain characteristics of a civilization. होता क्या है characteristics civilization का ना, और इसी के साथ में हमें ये भी समझना what is the difference that we have between culture and civilization. So civilization has two very important ingredients which all of you should know 100%. Number one, civilization, it is linked directly with the development of script. बिना literature के, बिना script के, we do not have any civilization. That is not there. Number one. And second, it is also synonymous with urbanization. दोनों देखो बहुत important concepts हैं. One is about urbanization, which leads to better level of organization. If we compare rural areas and urban areas, उनमें बहुत बड़ा, सबसे बड़ा difference किस चीज का आता है? Organization का. How it is organized. क्योंकि you see urban areas, the good level of roads. If you see traffic lights, you see eventually the political class relatively very well organized. So all those important institutions, they are where? In urban areas. So whenever somebody talks about civilization, you have to remember it means the development of a written script, and then eventually we have is the beginning of urbanization. But all this eventually, this civilization, it has certain causative factors. It's not like that they come out of vacuum. कुछ तो टाइम लगेगा ना, कुछ तो स्पेसिफिक चीजें हैं जिनके ऊपर काम करना पड़ता है. So what are those causative factors? So the number one factor which is responsible for the beginning of any civilization is the surplus of agriculture. इसको आप हमेशा ध्यान रखिए. Okay, without surplus we do not have any kind of civilization. कभी नहीं होगा. In fact, after the Harappan civilization, we'll talk about its decline. इस डिक्लाइन के बाद में काफी टाइम तक हमें सरप्लस मिलता ही नहीं है. That's why we do not have any civilization in between. That's why please remember this is number one. Second, whenever we talk about civilization or when we say urban area, it also requires increase in population. Like just like we have for urban areas, है ना, क्या क्या characteristics हैं जो हम सेंसस में यूटिलाइज करते हैं. सबसे पहला तो हम यही देखते हैं कि उनके जो प्रोफेशन होना चाहिए, that should be 75% in non-agrarian areas. Second, we talk about population density. Then we eventually talk about what? और क्या क्या है causative factors which lead us towards civilization. One is surplus of agriculture, because without this people cannot change their profession. वो तो हो ही नहीं सकता, possible ही नहीं है. Second, population is going to be required. Yes, if higher level of population density will be there, this will bring in large amounts of talent. Okay, तो जब भी हम पॉजिटिव फैक्टर्स की बात करते हैं फॉर सिविलाइजेशन, द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर इज द एलिमेंट ऑफ स्टेट. हु इज गोइंग टू रेगुलेट, हु इज गोइंग टू इंश्योर दैट ऑल द एक्टिविटीज दे बिकम ऑर्गेनाइज्ड. सो all factors are very important. It could be political factor, social factor as well as economic factor. हर तरीके के factors combine करते हैं, and when they eventually combine, it leads to development of civilizations. Okay, so in case of India, also in case of everywhere, if we talk about Mesopotamia, talk about Egypt, these kinds of factors are similar everywhere. Now when we will start the discussion of civilization, कुछ चीजें आपको ये देखनी है कि with respect to Indus Valley civilization, we are still clueless. what was the nature of state. Okay, when somebody says nature of state, you should understand what is the meaning of nature of state. Nature of state has large number of adjectives, है ना, क्या क्या possible activity है. से हम बात कर सकते हैं, it could be a monarchy or it could be a republic. That if the topmost person is elected just like India, तो हम क्या है, republic है. If we say Britain, okay, there is no election and they have the rule of queen. Second, it could be centralized, it could be decentralized, or it could be something in between like us, like we have a quasi-federal kind of overall constitution. So whenever somebody says what is the nature of state, तो आपको ना दिमाग लगाना कि what is the meaning of nature. Nature का meaning यही होता है. Then what else? It could be an imperialist state. Like if we see Magda, Magad was able to increase its dominion year after year. Different kings played a very important role. So it was also a imperialist state, right? Then we can also check, do we have elements of democracy in it? To what extent democracy was playing? The will of the people, to what extent this was being taken into consideration by the king or queen? But all this require a lot of research, which we do not have in case of the Indus Valley civilization. तो हर कोई अपनी कहानियां सुनाता रहता है उसके बारे में. Like Stuart Piggott says कि नहीं, it was a centralized empire. It was a centralized empire and Harappa and Mohenjo-daro were its two capitals. अब एक चीज बताइए, दो सबसे पहले कैपिटल्स हमें मिली, उन्हीं को हमने बता दिया, ठीक है, यही कैपिटल्स हो गई और ये एक एम्पायर बन गया ना. सबसे आसान तरीका है, एवरीबडी कैन बी ए हिस्टोरियन. यू जस्ट रिक्वायर कि कुछ कन्फ्लिक्टिंग बोल दो, उसके बाद चलती रहेगी लड़ाई, हमेशा नाम तो आया कम से कम, है ना. एंड दैट टू एट द टॉप कि सबसे पहले किसने कमेंट किया था. सो व्हेनेवर वी डिस्कस अबाउट द नेचर ऑफ स्टेट, इट हैज लार्ज नंबर ऑफ फेसेट्स जो हम धीरे धीरे सीखेंगे. बट इनिशियली जब भी कोई आपसे नेचर ऑफ स्टेट के बारे में पूछता है, यू शुड नो द कीवर्ड्स कि व्हेनेवर समबडी सेज कि हाँ क्या होता है नेचर ऑफ स्टेट. अभी आगे इसको और अच्छे समझेंगे, बिकॉज टुडे वी हैव टू आल्सो डिस्कस अबाउट वैदिक पीरियड, बिकॉज इन वैदिक पीरियड वी सी द बिगिनिंग ऑफ द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ स्टेट इन इंडिया. बिकॉज हड़प्पा के बारे में तो हम कमेंट ही नहीं कर पाते इवेंचुअली, ऑल ऑफ अस डू नॉट नो एग्जैक्टली व्हाट हैपेंड. सो लेट अस स्टार्ट विद एंशिएंट सिविलाइजेशंस. प्लीज ये आप याद रख लीजिए, इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टाइमलाइन, कभी भी प्रीलिम्स में आपके ऊपर क्वेश्चन आ सकता है, ठीक है. सो द ओल्डेस्ट सिविलाइजेशन दैट वी नो इन एशिया, इट इज मेसोपोटामियन. ओके, सो इट स्टार्ट्स अराउंड 3500 BC and it continued roughly up to 2000 BC. This is the timeline of Mesopotamia. ना सबसे पहले कौन सा है, मेसोपोटामिया है. आफ्टर मेसोपोटामिया वी हैव इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन. इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन हैज लार्ज नंबर ऑफ डेट्स. आप जितनी एनसीईआरटी ओपन करोगे उतनी डेट्स आपको मिल जाएंगी, बट द इजीएस्ट वन व्हिच यू हैव टू रिमेंबर, इट्स फ्रॉम 3300 to 1900. दैट इज द टाइम पीरियड दैट इज फर्दर डिवाइडेड इनटू 3 पार्ट्स. ओके, the first phase, it is known as early Harappan phase. I'll make you understand that later on. Then the mature Harappan phase. Mature Harappan means during this time period we see the maximum elements of the civilization, which includes script as well as urbanization. That comes in the mature Harappan stage. And finally comes the nature of decline or the Harappan phase. This is what we have from 1900 to 1300. ठीक है. सो ये वाला जो फेज है, इट इज मोस्टली फ्रॉम द अर्ली टू द एंड ऑफ द मेच्योर फेज, और जो लेट वाला पार्ट है दैट इज फ्रॉम 1900 टू 1300. तो इसको आप एग्जैक्टली याद रख सकते हो. ओके, दिस इज द मोस्ट ट्रस्टेड वन राइट नाउ. बाकी आगे देखते हैं, रिसर्चेस कभी खत्म नहीं होती. देन वी हैव इजिप्शियन. इजिप्शियन इज फ्रॉम 3100 टू 1100 BC. एंड फाइनली वी हैव द चाइनीज. चाइनीज इज फ्रॉम 1700 टू 1122 BC. So these are the 4 civilizations that we have. NCERTs में इनके बारे में बहुत बातें हैं. Even though questions do not come, but you can have a little bit of idea, because when we talk about the origin of Indus Valley civilization, the first theory which tried to explain its origin, it comes from Mesopotamia. तो अगर हमें इसके बारे में पता होगा कि भाई it was some civilization which was earlier than the Indus civilization, so that gives a weight to your answers. That's why उसको आप प्लीज याद कर लीजिए, ठीक है. So these are the 4 civilizations that we have. If we see area wise, so area wise also we can see, okay, to the farthermost, the westernmost, it is the Egyptian. Then we have Mesopotamia. Then we have the Indus Valley civilization, and towards the east we have the Chinese civilization. Okay, this is what we have. Here are the four. Let us now take a little bit of understanding, है ना, कि जब भी हम बात करते हैं civilization की, we have already discussed two major features. I hope all of you are able to understand. One is script, the second is urbanization. ये तो है ही 100%. अब इसके साथ में कुछ और words भी आप use कर सकते हो. Civilization is seen as an advanced organized way of life. Okay, it's an advanced organized way of life. It's instead a way of life that could be considered as adaptation to a particular environment and cultural context. We are able to create heavy structures. It brings in planning, organization, specialization. Settlements were planned and laid. A polity emerged. Society became organized. Food production and craft production, they also got regulated. And as civilization began to take shape, huge buildings were built. The art of writing developed. Science and technology contributed to the betterment of society. So whenever somebody uses the word civilization, these are the keyword which should come to your mind. इन्हीं चीजों के ऊपर हम पूरा हड़प्पन सिविलाइजेशन को पढ़ेंगे भी ना, जब हम बात करते हैं उनकी पॉलिटी के बारे में, इकोनॉमी, सोसाइटी, रिलीजन, ऑल दीज थिंग्स वी गोइंग टू डिस्कस वन आफ्टर द अदर. लेट अस नाउ सी द फर्स्ट सिविलाइजेशन. ये कहानी वाला पार्ट जल्दी जल्दी करेंगे बिकॉज इससे कुछ खाना नहीं है मेंस में, ये सिर्फ समझने के लिए है कि व्हाट वाज हैपनिंग इन दीज सिविलाइजेशन इन कंपैरिजन टू इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन. और इसी के बेसिस पे देखो बहुत सारी थियरीज आई हैं. लाइक व्हेन समबडी सेज दैट द इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन वाज रूल्ड बाय द बियर्डेड प्रीस्ट. अब वो कहां से आया कहानी? कंटेम्पररी सिविलाइजेशंस. यहां पे देखा, वहां पे अप्लाई कर दिया. ओके, सो लेट अस सी द इजिप्शियन सिविलाइजेशन. So this is the Egyptian civilization. Egypt is a country which is having area in both Asia as well as Africa, that all of us know. Okay. If we see its geography, all these civilization, they are across rivers. So one thing has become common to all these civilization, that river has played a very important role. And here which one is the river? Nile river is there. In fact, this civilization is considered as the gift of Nile by the Greek historian Herodotus, right? Because he can easily identify, just like we have the Indus Valley. So here also we have is that the Nile river. So this, if you see the geography, is lies in the northeast corner of African continent. It is bounded by Red Sea to the east, Mediterranean Sea in the north, and it is irrigated by river Nile, and that's why it is known as the gift of Nile. Nile is also very important because it was used as a means of transport, right? Transport is very important because whenever we talk about urbanization, secondary economic activity starts becoming very important, and that's why trade and commerce is going to be a major requirement. This Nile Valley is also very rich and fertile as the river deposits fresh alluvium every year. This alluvium nurtured agriculture and helped to produce surplus. As I've told you, without surplus we can never have urbanization, right? And it led to development of Egyptian civilization. The dry regions on the both side of the Nile, however, remained desert. So that is the specific impact of Nile river. कि इसके आसपास का एरिया डेवलप हो गया, बट जो थोड़ा सा उससे फार्दर था, that still remain as desertic in nature. That's why Nile is very, very important for this organization. Now, if we talk about their king, okay, their king, like if we use the word king, for them the king, they were known as pharaoh. Pharaohs were the word which was utilized for the kings. For them it is relatively easy because their scripts have been deciphered. Okay, for all this civilization the script has been deciphered, so the stories are very clear cut. Now next is a very important term which all of you are going to remember. Today, what is the most important form of legitimacy? It comes through votes, it comes through elections. But in those times the most important form of legitimacy, it came in the form of the king was considered as a deity himself, or nahi to kam se kam unke aaspaas, or their son, or there could be some kind of relationship. That's why we always say that the kingship was semi-divine. Okay, it was considered as semi-divine, or something which is very close to God itself. And this was a common feature in majority of the civilization. In Harappa we do not know exactly what it was because we do not have the clues, but at least in the Egyptian it is very much clear. Then under the pharaoh there were a hierarchy of officials and they were known as wazirs. Wazir was the keyword which was utilized for the various officials, the governors of provinces, local mayors, and also had the tax collector. The entire social system, it was supported by the work and the production of artisan, including stone cutter, mason, potters, carpenters, coppersmith, goldsmith, peasant, as well as workers. So they had created a specific kind of support system for themselves so that the urbanization can be sustained. And who was going to control all this? This was to be controlled by Pharaoh through his officers. So this is the story with respect to Egypt. Then land belonged to the king and was assigned to the official. Very important. This is also you're going to understand, because land is something which is very, very crucial. And even in India, when we'll discuss later on, कि इंडिया में भी जो लैंड ओनरशिप था उसके बहुत सारे मॉडल्स थे. In some cases it was under the control of king, in some cases it was under the control of community itself, but largely by the time period of the later times of the Guptas, the private ownership became most important. तीन टाइप की ओनरशिप पॉसिबल है, स्टेट लेड हो सकता है, कम्युनिटी ओनरशिप हो सकता है, और फाइनली क्या हो सकता है, प्राइवेट ओनरशिप. लाइक टुडे इफ यू सी इन इंडिया ऑल्सो आपकी कम्युनिटी ओनरशिप भी रहती है, जैसे रोड्स है, इट बिकम्स मोर ऑफ लाइक कम्युनिटी ओनरशिप. और इफ यू गो टू विलेजेस एरिया देयर वी फाइंड द जो भी आपका तालाब वगैरह रहता है या पेस्चर लैंड रहता है, दैट इज मोर अंडर द कंट्रोल ऑफ कम्युनिटी. Okay, when then if you see the PSUs, these are nothing but these are the land under the control of the government itself. And finally, if we see houses like yours, mine, etc., or of any specific family, those are the private property which are recognized by the government itself. So that's why different forms of ownership is possible. But here, what do we see? We see land belongs to the king and it was assigned to the official. Slavery was not common. This is something which is clear. Slavery was not common, but captives were used as slaves. So in general, slavery ऐसे नहीं था जैसे कि इंडिया में था. ठीक है, इन द इजिप्शियन सिविलाइजेशन वी आर कंपेयरिंग विद वैदिक, नॉट विद द इंडस वैली, बिकॉज उसके बारे में हमें कुछ नहीं पता. दैट इज मोर लाइक कि बस ऊपर ऊपर से कहानी पता. बट कैप्टिव्स दे कुड बी यूज्ड एज स्लेव्स. वजीर वर द हाई ऑफिशियल हु एडमिनिस्टर्ड टेरिटरीज अंडर द डायरेक्शन ऑफ द pharaohs, and they believed in life after death. Very, very important. So if we see the religious beliefs, they believed in life after death. Therefore, they preserved the dead body, and this is something which is a unique ritual which was pursued by them. Okay, they believed in preserving the dead body itself, and the art of preserving the dead body is known as mummification. You must have seen various cartoons, movies इसके ऊपर है ना, mummies के ऊपर. And the pyramids and tombs were built to preserve the body of pharaohs, at least of the kings. It was preserved. So this is how it becomes important. Okay, the brief information about their king. Now the most famous of the pharaohs or of the king, his name was Tutankhamen, who ruled from around 1332 to we see tomb with a rich variety of offering is located near Luxor in Egypt, and the mask of his mummy made of gold and decorated with precious stones. So इस तरीके से उन्होंने कुछ मास्क बनाया था made of gold, and around that we have the precious stones. So there are some very important personalities with respect to Egypt, and one of them was this pharaoh. If we see agriculture and trade, which kind of crops would be linked to them directly? So we have wheat, barley, millet, vegetable, fruits, cotton. Cotton is something which is very important with respect to Egypt. आपने देखा भी होगा जितने भी अच्छे ब्रांड्स हैं आपकी, हमेशा क्या बोलती हैं? It is Egyptian cotton. Giza cotton भी बोलते हैं उसको, right? So that is a very important commodity which was produced in Egypt. Then papyrus, this was something which was used for making rope mats, sandals, and later for even producing paper. So paper was also produced by them. They domesticated cattle, sheep, goat, pigs, hunted wild animals. Pets also were there like dogs, cats, monkeys. They had trade relationship with various countries including Lebanon, Crete, Phoenicia, Palestine, as well as Syria. If we see the metals, gold, silver, ivory, they were imported and they were acquired. They also acquired lapis lazuli. I hope all of you know about lapis lazuli. So this is a blue colored stone which we see in Afghanistan a lot. A precious stone which was taken from the Swiss side, Afghanistan. So this is something which is common with the Indus Valley. Indus Valley में भी जो lapis lazuli था, that was taken from the area of Afghanistan. Then if we see their art and architecture, so we see different kinds of sculptures of pharaohs. Paintings were also there. Carving attached to the various kinds of artistic skills. Pyramids is the most important one because they are massive in nature, right? So pyramids are the most important, and they were built as what? They were built as tombs, place where the dead bodies were kept. And the great pyramids near Cairo, they are known as Giza pyramids. Okay, they are the most important ones. You can see it like this. Like this is the Great Pyramid of Giza that we have. Okay, and the various kinds of views the Great Sphinx of Giza, it's a massive limestone image of a lion with a human head. Now this is something which is we find very common in Egypt. Okay, there we have human head, but image of a lion with a human head, and is dated to the timeline of Pharaoh Khafre. So किसी cases में इनके gods की भी जब हम बात करेंगे, you will see later on that there is a mixture of human and animals. So it means that if we see their religion, animism is going to be a common feature. कि मतलब ये worship किसकी करते हैं? Animals की. That can be seen even from these sculptures that we have. Okay, so this is how you can see. Image is not very clear, but you can see to some extent that they have human body, but their heads, they have the heads of various animals. And if we see the features of the religion, one thing is very common. They were believer in polytheism. Multiple gods were there, which includes Ammon, Re, Set, Thoth, Horus, Anubis. They were the various gods of Egyptian, and the worship. But sun god Re was the predominant one. The sun god was known as Re, and later on sun god was called Ammon. So these are the various gods that we have of the Egyptian. So if somebody asks you 4 to 5 features of Egyptian civilization, I hope we can easily understand them. And later on when we will discuss the Indus Valley civilization, we can easily compare. Like when we see the religion of Indus Valley, when we see the sculptures, like they have the pyramids, we do not find any pyramids in the case of our Indus Valley civilization, but what do we find? We find citadels. We see more better level of town planning. तो वो सब हम इसके साथ में कंपेयर कर सकते हैं, ठीक है. If we see with respect to philosophy, science and literature, so these people were important with respect to, they were able to come up with the discoveries of sundial or inventions of water clock as well as glass. They were also able to build solar calendar. Okay, all these are very important achievements of the civilization of Egyptians. Literary works also included lots of writings on mathematics, astronomy, medicine, magic, religion, and the Egyptians were distinguishing themselves in painting, art, sculpture, pottery, music as well as weaving. So the moment we see diversification of activities, okay, तो उसकी वजह से civilization का base बनता है, and that we can easily realize even in the case of Egypt. तो इन चीजों को आप थोड़ा सा basic level पे याद रख सकते हो, because eventually it helps us in better understanding of our own civilization. Here we have lots of knowledge. Why? Because the script has been deciphered, but in case of our script is still an enigma. Let us see in the future what is going to happen. This is how the writing system was. Okay, the writing system was a bit different, and the whole writing system, it was known by the term known as hieroglyphic, where they used to have specific kinds of pictographs itself. Okay, like you can see, when you see a bird, birds किससे denote हो रहा है? A से denote हो रहा है. Like this, they are having different kinds of symbols. So the Egyptians were well known for the writing system, and their form of writing, it is known as hieroglyphic, and this was used in the inscription on seal as well as other object. While on the other hand, there were some people who were not following this kind of script. So those people, they were known as heretic, and they were this kind of writing was used for common purposes, and this form of writing used a pictographic based system. It was developed around 3000 BC, and many texts and books were written using this script. Now as we know, this inscription is on display in British म्यूजियम. तो एक ही जगह है जहाँ घूम फिर के सारी चीजें पहुंचती हैं. इंडिया हो या इजिप्ट हो, चीजें तो सेम ही रहने वाली हैं, राइट. Egypt was also under the control of British. Okay, so that's why this inscription that we have, it can be found in, कभी लंदन जाओ तो देख लेना जाके, है ना, लाइव, वहाँ ज्यादा अच्छी फोटो दिखेगी. हाँ, तो ऐसे ही है बुक में. Anyway, if we just see basically 3-4 contribution of this civilization. So they developed a solar calendar system, pyramids, and their design, they show eventually the mathematical and surveying skill, because whenever a big architecture is created, try to understand this. बिना mathematics की knowledge के अच्छा architecture बन सकता है क्या? It can never be created. So that's why it shows their skills. Then hieroglyphic writing system attached to the skills in handling symbols. Preservation of human body in the form of mummies was something which was very prominent, and they applied innovation in the use of science as well as technology. So this is the overall gift that we have from the Egypt. कभी भी एसेज वगैरह लिख रहे हो क्रॉस कल्चर सिविलाइजेशन के ऊपर कोई ऐसे लिखने को आ गया, बिकॉज ये बार बार आता रहता है, सिविलाइजेशन वर्सेस कल्चर. सो यू कैन बोरो सम एग्जांपल्स फ्रॉम Egyptian example, and this is going to make your essay a bit different from others. Now comes the second one. In Mesopotamia, there was no one civilization. There were lots of continuation. That's why the word that we use is civilization. So there are 4 civilizations that we see one after the other. Okay, as we were discussing yesterday, Mesopotamia, It refers to the region of Iraq and Kuwait in West Asia. Okay, and several kingdoms emerged in this area, which includes, number one was Sumerian. Sumerians are important because they were the early contemporary of Indus Valley civilization. After the Sumerians, we see the Akkadian, then we have Babylonian, and finally we have the Assyrian civilization, which flourished in Mesopotamia. The word Mesopotamia, the Meso word, it comes from, the meaning is in between, and Potamus, this word comes from between, it means river. So we have two rivers in this region, Euphrates and Tigris, and the area in between them is known as Mesopotamia. Just like we have Doab system in our, they have the Mesopotamia. So this is the region where we see development of large number of civilizations, one after the another, Sumerian, Akkadian, Babylonian, and then the Assyrian. North part of Mesopotamia is known as Assyria, and the south part it is known as Babylonia. So this is the geographical division, not a political division. This is a geographical division. North part को Assyria बोलते हैं, south part को बोलते हैं Babylonia बोलते हैं. Okay, but in general we see development of Sumerian civilization, Akkadian, Babylonian, and finally we have is the Assyrian. So four civilization developed in this area, which shows that in general the area was resource rich and innovation was in work. This is the geography that we have. Okay, this is the roughly area and the Persian Gulf, and this is the Meluha or Indus Valley civilization, and this is something which comes in between Dilmun and Magan. These are the area, these were the intermediaries with respect to the trade which used to happen between the Indus Valley and the Mesopotamians. So in between areas थे Dilmun and Magan. Then first important thing, it is the oldest civilization in Mesopotamia, the Sumerians. They belong to Sumerians. Okay, they were the contemporaries of the people of Indus as well as Egyptian civilization. These civilizations had trade connections. All right, the Sumerians settled in the lower Tigris Valley around 5000 to 4000 BC. They believed to have originated from Central Asia. Okay, so they are also have come from which area? Central Asia. They founded many cities. Now I want you to remember the name of few cities. Like one city is Nippur, one city is Ur, the other city is Nippur. ना दो तीन सिटी याद रख लेते थे. हमारी तो बहुत सारी साइट्स हैं, हड़प्पा है, मोहनजोदड़ो, कालीबंगन है, 50 पढ़ दी हमने मैपिंग में, दैट इज डिफरेंट. बट इनके लिए कम से कम 3-4 याद कर लीजिए. व्हाई वी हैव टू रिमेंबर दैट? सो दैट व्हेन वी राइट आंसर्स, इनके बीच में जो भी ट्रेड हुई है वो कौन सी सिटीज के बीच में हुई है? निप्पुर और करके. तो आप आराम से ट्रेड नेटवर्क्स बना भी सकते हो बाद में. इट वाज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट सिटीज ऑफ दिस एरिया. दे डेवलप्ड a writing system which is known as cuneiform. This writing system is known as cuneiform. And during the early phase of this civilization, kings acted as chief priests. So now you get the idea why we say the bearded priest in the case of India, in the case of Indus Valley civilization, because the same kind of political system was there in Mesopotamia. Okay, and their political domination came to an end by 2450 BC. Thereafter we see a switch in the civilization. So the first one to come into picture, they were Sumerians. After that we have is the Akkadians. They dominated this Sumeria briefly from around 2450 to 2250. So लगभग आप 200 साल का time period लेके चलो. And this is important because they had a king and his king's name was Sargon. So Sargon of Akkad, he was a famous ruler and his descendants ruled Mesopotamia for more than 100 years, so roughly 200 years. And in the cuneiform, in the records of this, we found the mention of Indus Valley civilization. देखो जब भी Indus Valley civilization की हम बात करते हैं तो उसमें दो चीजें हम हमेशा बोलते हैं कि भाई they always have what kind of record? They have the archaeological record and they have zero literary records because the script is not deciphered. But वो उसमें थोड़ा सा गलती होता है. वो क्या होता है? वो ये गलती रहता है. Because yes, there are literary records, but they are not from our own script. The records are with the Mesopotamians itself and in the record of King Sargon. But problem क्या है? बहुत ही limited record है. The record is only with respect to trade and commerce. That's it. So that's why whenever somebody writes कि भाई literary sources है ही नहीं, that is not correct with respect to Indus Valley civilization. और ऐसे क्वेश्चन कई बार आ चुके हैं. Okay, एक बहुत ही क्लासिक क्वेश्चन यही बनता है that only archaeology know of the Harappans while only literary know about the Aryans. This is a very cliched because Vedic Aryan के बारे में हमारे पास ज़्यादा archaeology नहीं है. So that's the difference between these two. However, these are the limitations which you have to remember. Documents of Sargon of Akkad refer to the ships from Meluha region, Magan and Dilmun in the Quay of Akkad. Meluha is identified as Indus Valley. The city of Akkad later became city of Babylon, commercial as well as commercial center of West Asia. So that's why we should remember that कि काफी सारी civilizations develop हुई हैं in the Mesopotamia. This was the second one. Then we see the third one. The third one is the Babylonian. This civilization is linked to Semitic people. Semitic people are whom? Who are linked to Palestine, which includes our Jews. So they were called Amorites from the Arabian desert, moved into Mesopotamia. They were known as Babylonians, and they established a kingdom and made Babylon their capital. And by the king, okay, this king name you can remember. Okay, the king name is Hammurabi. Why Hammurabi is very famous? Because he was a famous lawgiver of this area. Just like in our civilization, we give a lot of esteem to Manu Smriti, because Manu Smriti has given the common law with respect to us. So in case of this civilization, Hammurabi is very, very important, right? They extended their domination to the western part of Mesopotamia. The powerful state which emerged, it was the state of Ur. That's why I told you Ur or Nippur, do word yaad kar lo, it's easy to remember it. And Babylon controlled this region. Hammurabi, the sixth king of Babylon, belonging to the first Amorite dynasty, attained fame as a great lawmaker. He is known for giving various categories of law, civil, criminal, all those categories of law are given by Hammurabi. And that is what you will remember also. कभी भी law वगैरह के ऊपर ऐसे वगैरह चल रहा तो इनके बारे में लिख सकते हो. One of the earliest person to give law. इसके बारे में अभी 4-5 लाइन्स आएंगे आगे. Then last, yes, इनका नाम है Hammurabi. ठीक है. Then come the Assyrians, the last one. This empire was politically active around 1000 BC, and they were the priest of Ashur, the city deity of Assyria. The government was controlled by emperor. Provincial, they were appointed by the emperor itself to administer various provinces, and this was the capital city of Assyria. Here we have this Ashur Banipal. He was a popular ruler of the late times. Okay, he maintained a famous library of cuneiform records. So they put a lot of emphasis towards writing. They put a lot of emphasis about the preservation of text, and they worship the deity of Lamassu for protection. So in a way, what do we understand by seeing various kinds of civilization? We realize that few features are common to all of them. They're going to have a state system, right? That when somebody says that did Harappans have any kind of state system, तो हम किस basis पर realize करते हैं कि state system होगा या नहीं होगा? On the basis of this contemporary civilizations. इनके basis पे ही realize करते हैं. So you can always give examples of these contemporary civilization when you're writing anything about Harappa. That is the major reason why we are discussing this from the NCERTs. Okay, these are the various areas which you can remember, like Ur is there, Babylon is there, Nippur is there. This is the area between the two famous rivers. The first is Tigris and the Euphrates. All right, Tigris and Euphrates. These are the two rivers, and here we see the development of various cities. Okay, so if we talk about overall Sumerians, the society, state administration, it had many city states as we understand. Okay, just like we had Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Rakhiadi, etc. They have various states. The fortified Sumerian cities had a temples also, and they were known as ziggurats. Like in case of Harappan civilization, we have 0 temples. We do not have any specific kinds of religious shrine. है ना, हमारे पास कुछ है ही नहीं. We hardly have this great bath, but that is also open to interpretation. वो तो हमारे गंगा स्नान का tradition है. That's why जो भी interpretation होगा हमारा क्या होता है, उसके हिसाब से हो जाता है. We use the present in order to look towards the past. Okay, वो भी हम आज बात भी करेंगे towards the end कि there are lots of problem with respect to the interpretations of Harappan civilization. हर किसी के ऊपर question mark है. Okay, then the temple, they were controlled by priests, and the priests, scribes or the writers and the nobles, they were part of the government. The rulers and the priests occupy the top of the social hierarchy. The ruler performed the role of chief priest. Scribes, merchant, artisan, they were placed next in the hierarchy. The scribes maintained the account of taxes, and the priests, they collected the taxes. So something very unique with respect to the administration itself. The priests were the collector of taxes. Temples acted as storehouses of the taxed commodities, and assemblies, they were created for administration of the state. Cultivable land, they were owned by kings and the higher classes of the people in general. The peasant who remained in the temples in the earlier phases of the Mesopotamian civilization became free from the association in the later period. So this is the basic information about their state, administration, society, but in general the role of priest was very important. बहुत significant role play कर रहे थे, and that was leading to the stability in this region. दैट्स वाई जो हम फोटो देखते हैं हड़प्पन सिविलाइजेशन में ऑफ अ प्रीस्ट हैविंग द बियर्ड, उसी को हमने किंग बना दिया था। हमारा किंग कौन हो गया? bearded priest on the basis of Mesopotamian civilization. All right, so that is what we need to remember. If we see with respect to food, agriculture, so agriculture was the main occupation, that is very clear. They had developed irrigation system for ensuring the availability of water for various purposes, and they cultivated wheat, barley, onion, turnips, grapes, apples, dates, domesticated cattle, sheep, goats, and fish was also part of their diets, because naturally if you have river, fish is also going to be an important part of it. If we see with respect to trade and exchange, so trade did play a very important role. That is something which we have to understand, because a civilization, it is built on the basis of secondary economic activities. They are very, very important. Okay. Otherwise, urban area sustain कैसे करेंगे? Like all of us, all of us will live in this area. तो हमारा function कभी agriculture से directly linked नहीं है. Even though agriculture is the base of all civilization, if today the food surplus will go away, all of us will vanish. सब छोड़ छाड़ के यूपीएससी वापस चलेंगे खेत में, right? Because you have to sustain first. Survival problems will come again, but right now we do not have any problem with respect to the food crops. But the moment they come in, वही nature outcome होगा. But since we are living in urban area, it means trade is going to be an important part of economic activity. They traded with Syria, Asia Minor in the west, in the Iran, Indus Valley in the east. They traveled in ship across the seas for trade. The temples acted as banks, very, very important, because when we discuss the banking system of ancient India also, you will try to understand temples did play an important role, not right now, later on, because in India the temple tradition, it starts with which specific religion? It starts with Hinduism, but the important thing is it starts by the time of Guptas. But if we talk about Buddhism, Buddhist monastery, they were working as banks from the earlier times itself. Okay. So that is something which we need to understand. They lend credit on their own account. The Mesopotamian documents have references to loan and repayment with or without interest. So that's why perhaps this is the first written evidence of charging an interest on borrowed money. तो ये उस टाइम के SBI है ना, सबसे पहली बार अगर किसी ने लोन किसी से लिया इवेंचुअली, तो हमें कहाँ से पता चलता है? मेसोपोटामियन से पता चलता है, बिकॉज इनके रिकॉर्ड्स में लिखा हुआ है उसके बारे में. देखो हिस्ट्री को इमेजिन करने के लिए एक चीज का बहुत ध्यान रखना कि प्रेजेंट के अच्छे एग्जांपल्स माइंड में चलने चाहिए. समबडी टॉक्स अबाउट मनी, यू शुड नो कि हाउ द मनी इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, दिस इज द लाइफ ब्लड ऑफ एवरी economy, and there are some institutions which are going to ensure that the money is going to have right kind of supply. इसमें टॉप मोस्ट इंस्टीट्यूशन तो हमारा आरबीआई ही बन जाता है, बट आरबीआई वी हैव अ स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ वेरियस काइंड्स ऑफ बैंक्स व्हिच प्रमोट्स ओनली टू थिंग्स, कि हमें सस्ते दाम में पैसा दे दो और हमसे महंगे पैसे में लोन ले लो तुम, है ना. आप जाओगे डिपॉजिट करोगे तो 4%, और अगर होम लोन लेने जाओगे सबसे सस्ता लोन जिसको हम बोलते हैं तो भी कम से कम 7 से 8% तो मिनिमम रहने वाला है, एंड द मार्जिन इन बिटवीन वो उनका प्रॉफिट बन जाता है इवेंचुअली आफ्टर द एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव एक्सपेंसेस. बट एनीवे these kinds of activities can be seen eventually from here itself. Cities and town planning, if we talk about it, okay, so these cities, they featured mud or baked brick. This is also what we have to remember, because in case of Harappan civilization we will not use the baked bricks but we will use burnt bricks. We will go for the burning of the bricks, and they will have massive strength in comparison to Mesopotamians. Okay, they will have the gated communities. Some people lived in reed huts also outside the city. The ziggurats or the temples, they were at the city center on a platform and appeared like steep pyramids with staircases leading to the top. Around this temple were complexes of ceremonial courtyard, shrine, burial chambers for the priests, priestesses, the ceremonial banquet halls, along with workshops, granaries, storehouses, and administrative building. So in a way, urbanization was well in flow in the area of Mesopotamia. But there was only one thing which was major different. The first major difference, the use of bricks is different. Plus, the Harappan civilization was even more better organized. Why? Because we were having the chessboard patterns, जो कि यहाँ पे नहीं था. There was no specific chessboard pattern here, like the various kinds of structures we'll see in the Harappa. If we see their religion also, again, their religion was also polytheistic, means they were a believer in multiple gods. एक के ऊपर नहीं था. They prayed to Enlil, and who was a god of sky and wind. They worshipped several gods and goddesses, as we have discussed. That is the meaning of polytheism. The city of Nippur, it was the center of Enlil's worship, the god of sky and wind. Ninlil was the Sumerian goddess of grain. The Babylonian worshipped Marduk. The Asur was the supreme god of the Assyrians. Ishtar was the goddesses of love and fertility. Tiamat was the god of sea and chaos, and Sin the moon god. But one thing which is very clear from here also, that the nature's forces which they are not able to understand, that is one of the major reason of the creation of multiple gods. And that is again which we see in this civilization. This is again, these kinds of things you will see even in the Vedic civilization, okay, later on. The kings were seen as a representative of the gods, that we have already discussed, because they were given divine forms, okay. Mesopotamians developed a rich collection of myths and legends. The most famous of this is the epic of Gilgamesh, which is written in the cuneiform text. They were one of the earliest heroes of any kind of the composition, and it contains a legend of the flood and the similarity with the account of Noah's Ark mentioned in the Bible. Do you know about Noah's Ark? बाइबल पढ़ी है? नहीं पढ़ी तो मैंने भी नहीं है, बट एनीवे आई हैव हर्ड द स्टोरीज. दिस इज अबाउट व्हेन गॉड रियलाइज कि तुम लोगों ने बहुत सिन कर लिया है, ठीक है. वी कमिट सिन ऑन एवरीडे बेसिस, है ना, करते हैं कुछ ना कुछ तो गलत करते हैं, बट एनीवे द मोरालिटी इन इटसेल्फ इज अ जोक. बट व्हाट वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड, गॉड रियलाइज दैट वी पीपल आर सिनर्स, सो दैट्स व्हाई he unleashed his fury, and eventually came the great flood. And when that flood came, Noah was the person who built an ark which was able to save humans. Okay, so the same kind of stories are also found in this specific part which is composed as Gilgamesh. So this is also you can remember. ठीक है, तो देखो कहानियां लगभग आसपास ही हैं. If you see various religions, घूम फिर के उसके आसपास की कहानियां ही आ जानी है. And they have more similarity because they have emerged from the similar region. Like if you see with respect to Moses also, so Abrahamic religions which includes Judaism, Christianity as well as Islam, उसमें काफी सारी कहानी same है because the origin is starts from the same area, same categories of legends are there. So ये इनके religion था. This is what I was talking about, the Hammurabi's law code. So what is this code about? Okay, this code is an important legal document that specifies the law related to various crimes. अगर हम इसके provisions देखें, सोचो उस टाइम पे उन्होंने 282 provisions है, जैसे इंडियन penal code है, they also came out with their own code. So 282 provisions are there which includes cases related to family rights, trade, slavery, taxes, even wages. It is carved on stone which portrays him as receiving the code from the sun god Shamash, and it was a compilation of all laws based on retributive principle. What is the meaning of retributive principles? What is the meaning of retributive? Forms of justice अलग अलग होते हैं. Retributive मतलब कि इसने गलत किया तो इसके साथ गलत करेंगे, ठीक है. An eye for an eye, that kind of justice is known as retributive. जब हम इसकी बात करते हैं corrective form of justice, कि नहीं है सुधर जाएंगे, okay, belief in the kind nature of human being, so वो आपका corrective nature of justice होता है. This is retributive principle, ये इसका basis है. तो कभी essays वगैरह में देखो justice के ऊपर बात कर सकते हो. You can even talk about Hammurabi and his justice. It was on the basis of which kind of principle? Retributive, which includes like an eye for an eye. महात्मा गांधी जी का famous quote है, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind, right? So an eye for an eye or a tooth for a tooth. Okay, this form of justice is used in the Hammurabi code. This kind of justice also has some value, not for all kinds of crime but for the heinous crimes. Okay, an eye for an eye, these kinds of retributive justice is revoked only when it is required. Let's say India के केस में होता है ना, rarest of the rare case में हम क्या किस चीज के आते हैं the capital punishment, right? So it's not like it has no sanctity in today's world. If you see the whole world, है ना, कितने nations हैं, 190 200 के आसपास nations हैं roughly, उनमें से कम कितनी countries में death penalty है आज? कुछ तो नंबर होगा, 100 से ज्यादा में है, 100 से ज्यादा में तो है 100%, और उनमें से एक हम तो है ना, we are a part of it. But anyway, so it means some part of our justice system is still based upon retributive principles, which links with various these peoples. These were legal luminaries of those times. अब आज के साथ तो compare नहीं कर सकते, but you have to understand कि भाई these codes are very very important for those civilizations. May have been one of the major cornerstone. Okay, this is the writing system which they were having, which is known as cuneiform. It is a Sumerian writing system. The shape of the letter in this is the form of a wedge. Wedge की तरह form होती है. That's why it is known as cuneiform. evolved around 300 BC, 3000 BC, and one of the earliest script of the world. They used this script for commercial transaction and writing letters and stories. This is how they used to use the writing system. Okay, if we talk about their art and architecture, so in art and architecture we see create the writings of various sculptures in stone, clay. Paintings are also found. Okay, they portray animals, goats, rams, bulls in various kinds of sculptures. Mythological figures also are there, which includes like lion and bulls with human head, as we have already discussed about it. And massive sculptures were created at the time of the Assyrian and finally the Babylonian empires. So these are the various kinds of heritage which we can see from this civilization. This is how the script is. अगर हम बात करें इनकी पिक्टोग्राफिक स्क्रिप्ट इन लेटर क्यूनिफॉर्म, फिर बेबीलोनियन, असीरियन एंड फाइनली इनका मीनिंग क्या है. ओके, अब आपको बैठ के ये सब काम तो करना नहीं है ना, ये सब आना नहीं है एग्जाम में, बट जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ रेफरेंस कि हाउ द स्क्रिप्ट दे कीप ऑन चेंजिंग विद द चेंजिंग ऑफ वेरियस डायनेस्टीज और सिविलाइजेशन एंड हाउ दे कुड बी देन लेटर ऑन डेसिफर्ड. जैसे इनके केस में डेसिफर हो चुका है, बट इन आवर केस all the symbols look like exactly like कि जो पहले दिख रहे वैसा आज भी है, कोई difference नहीं हुआ. No meaning could be given from our side. But this development of script is an important milestone in human history, as all of us understand, and this began to emerge in Sumeria in the later part of 4th millennium BC or 3000 BC. Hieroglyphic or the Egyptian system developed in the early 3000 BC. The Harappan also had a system of writing which is often linked to around 2600 BC. उसके आसपास उन्होंने start किया था. The Chinese civilization too developed a writing system from a very early period. So if we see all these 4 civilizations, all of them were having writing system, all of them they were linked to urbanization. So whenever somebody uses the word civilization, please remember script is going to be an integral part of any civilization, because literacy is something which they believe in. Okay, literacy is an outcome of the process of civilized. And what is the alternative word, or which is the antonym which we use with respect to civilization, which the British used to use for us? Bloody Indians. The word savages. Savages is somebody who has no manners, who has learned nothing in their life. The savage versus those who are civilized. That's the difference which we have. Savage was the word which was used by the Britishers during the time of colonialism. Anyway, if we see their science, they had excelled in mathematics, astronomy, medicine. They developed the concepts of multiplication, division as well as cubic equation, है ना. उसके बाद CSAT बना और हमारे यहाँ जिंदगी बर्बाद हो गई. The numerical system based on 60 was also conceived by them. Okay, decimal system नहीं, 60. They were the ones to formulate 60-minute hour, okay, 24-hour day and 360-degree circle. Okay, so all those things are linked to them. Their calendar system had 7 days in a week, and the numerical system has places, values. They created water clock also, lunar calendar. जैसे कि इजिप्शियन का कौन सा कैलेंडर था? सोलर. दे हैव द लूनर वन. अब हड़प्पा के बारे में पता ही नहीं, कुछ समझ ही नहीं आता स्क्रिप्ट देख के लूनर है या फिर सोलर है, दोनों ही बराबर लगते हैं. Based on the movement of moon, they developed methods of measuring areas and solids. They also developed advanced weight and measurement system. Okay, that was also developed by them. They had developed a medicine system also. A text which is known as Diagnostic Handbook was developed by them around 1100 BC इसके आसपास in Babylon, and this lists symptoms as well as prognosis. This indicates the scientific understanding of herbs as well as minerals. So lots of development can be seen in Mesopotamia during the same time. अगर हम आज की बात करें, today we see this region, okay, the Sumerians or the Mesopotamians, it is now considered one of the backward region of the world. But just go back few thousand years back, then they were the most advanced people of those times. Okay, so this is just depends, है ना. सिर्फ wait करो, life में सब कुछ possible है. It just you have to wait for a while. If you see overall contribution, invention of potter's wheel, calendar system of 360 days, the circle also with 360-degree units, cuneiform system of writing was their contribution, and finally the Hammurabi's law codes. These are some of the notable achievements of this civilization. Then दिख जाता देख के, दिस इज द ग्रेट वॉल ऑफ चाइना, राइट. सो चाइना के बारे में बहुत ज्यादा नहीं पढ़ेंगे ना, आजकल इंटरनेशनल हो जाते हो, चाइना के बारे में ज्यादा नहीं पढ़ना. बट चाइना इज वन ऑफ द लास्ट सिविलाइजेशन. इट वाज द recent one. Okay, Here also we have two rivers, Huanghe and the second is known as Yangtze. Two rivers are there and the area in between we see the development of a civilization. एक बार photo से देख लेते हैं, you'll get better clarity. So if we see China, this is the area. This is the Huanghe river and this is the Yangtze river. The area in between. This is the area where we see development of civilization. Okay. So this is the area, Huanghe and Yangtze. The Yellow River, which is known as the sorrow of China. जैसे कोसी होता है बिहार के लिए, the sorrow of Bihar, because of frequent change of the courses, which leads to frequent flood. Anyway, so evidence we find from the prehistoric Peking man also, one of the early modern from this area. Okay, Neolithic communities, they lived in China between 4,500 years to 3,750 years. The Henan province in Yellow and the Yangtze contain the evidence of Neolithic villages. China had many city-states and gradually this state became the part of an empire. So just like we have in the other parts of the world, Neolithic से transition होता है. Here also we see the transition and again rivers. Rivers are very very important. इस साल GS में question आया था बहुत basic level. Okay, and what is the role of geography in the development of history? What is the role of geography? तो जब भी हम role of geography देखते हैं तो देखो geography बहुत ज़्यादा important होती है. Why do we see all the civilization very close to rivers? What's the logic behind it? Because it provides all sorts of resources. It makes trade and commerce super easy. Cheapest form of transportation कौन सा है? Yes, it's the waterways. Okay, so that's why you have to always understand that geography plays a very important role. Okay, why China was the one was having the Silk Route? Because it is because of the again geography. In India, most important empires that we have seen, they've always been in the North India. अगर हम massive empires की बात करेंगे, why? Again because of the resources. That's why geography plays a very important role in the development of history, and they are very close to each other. That's why some of the historians, they said that they are like the sun and the moon. They are very much linked to each other. You cannot just take them away. Anyway, if we talk about their polity, so yeah, we have Shi Huangdi, okay, or the Qin Shi Huang, who was the first emperor, founded the Qin dynasty, and they have this title, Son of Heaven. Again, semi-divine monarchy. These things are very common. Semi-divine monarchy. He is considered to be the first emperor of China. The period between 221 to 206 is known as the imperial era of China. He conquered other principalities and eventually remained emperor till 212 and defeated the feudal lords, established a strong empire, and he is credited with unifying China. Then the next one, Shi Huangdi, he destroyed the walled fortification of different states and constructed one of the most important wonders of the world, that is the Great Wall of China. This was the time period when the Indo-Greek, Shakas, Kushan, they were coming towards the later part or towards the India as well as China. But China, they were able to build the Great Wall. That's why maximum invasion happened in Indian subcontinent. इसी वजह से हुआ था because they were able to build the Great Wall of China. That's why any kind of invasion was now not going to happen. To protect the empire from invading nomadic people, and who were these nomadic people? They were Indo-Greek, Shakas and Kushanas, which eventually are going to become part of Indian history. They also built roads to integrate the empire. This is about this Chinese civilization. Okay, so this is one of the last civilization that we have. Then here we also have a Han Empire. During this period, a written history of this empire was made available in China. The greatest of the Han rulers. Yesterday I was talking about the concept of state-led history writing or the state society. India is a lineage-based society and China is a state-based society. Since it's a state-based society, the state itself is writing its own history. Okay, so this form of history writing is known as externalized form. The state खुद ही conscious है कि नहीं हमको history लिखनी ही लिखनी है. But in case of us, we are a lineage-based society and whatever we write, it is not direct. It is always indirect. तो religious text के अंदर आपको क्या मिलेगी? थोड़ी बहुत history मिलने वाली है. Okay, so here we have Wu Ti or Han Wu the Great. He expanded the empire, built many public amenities including irrigation tanks. He sent Zhang Zian as an emissary to the west and thereby paved the way for the opening of the most important road in the world, that is known as Silk Road, which was bound to have a major impact on their trade and commerce, which encouraged trading activities. Okay, and finally Chinese silk was much sought after by the Romans during this time, and as a result of this, China became a major symbol of aspiration and they were able to develop their own country during this time, and the Han Empire further extended. If we talk about philosophy and literature, there are some very important personalities from the Chinese civilization which all of us should know at least a little bit about. Like one of them, it is Confucius. Confucius is considered as a very important sage of this area. Okay. Another important personality is Sun Tzu. You must have seen it even from the cartoon. Sun Tzu is known for what purpose? For writing the art of war. So he was a military strategist. And this is the philosophy which is even till date played by the China. Do you know why India and Chinese conflict, they are not still solved till today? Because this is given in the military strategy of Sun Tzu. कि जो भी आपका एनिमी है उसके साथ कभी भी अपने किसी भी कन्फ्लिक्ट्स को रिजॉल्व मत करो. Why? कभी भी उसको हम यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं. Whenever we have to pressurize them, what is going to be the requirement? Will require what? Will require some form of conflict, free play. So that's why this philosophy of Sun Tzu is even till date utilized by this Chinese state. Then if we talk about various emperors, they have this Yellow Emperor's Canon of Medicine, which is considered one of the earliest written book on medicine, just like we have discussed about Mesopotamians. Lao Tzu is also important personality, and he is known for the keeper of the Chao state. He was the founder of Taoism and argued that desire is the root cause of all evils, just like we see with respect to Buddha also. Confucius, again a very important sage, just like that. And he was famous among the Chinese philosophers, and he was a political reformer, and his name means Kuang the Master. So he was also somebody who was a believer in using one's wisdom in order to resolve the challenges of the age. So Confucius is very famous there. In fact, a large percentage of Chinese population, even till today, they are a follower of Confucius. Okay, जैसे हमारे यहाँ बुद्धिज्म एक टाइम पे बहुत फेमस था, they were also very having a big popularity of Confucius. The Chinese script, they also developed a writing system. Initially, it was pictographic, and later it was converted into symbol form. Since it is in a symbol form, the writings of symbol form, they are difficult to understand. They are difficult to understand. और सीखने में भी time लगता है. Okay, and like those people who get these days selected in the civil services or IFS particularly, तो सबसे पहले Chinese language भरते हैं. Why? Because eventually the epicenter of the diplomacy in the coming decades, वो कहाँ पे होने वाली है? China, India, China. That is how it's going to be. So many people, they learn the Chinese language or the Mandarin. So see the contribution of this Chinese civilization. Writing system was improved, invention of paper, opening of Silk Road, and finally they also see the invention of gunpowder. So these are the various contribution of this civilization. So I hope by now you're able to understand what is the meaning of civilization. अगर इतना भी याद होगा तो अभी तक का जो हमारा डिस्कशन था वो फ्रूटफुल हो गया, बिकॉज बाकी सब तो आपके डायरेक्ट एग्जाम में आना बहुत ही मुश्किल है. बट when we write answers in our mains examination, there we can utilize the comparable kind of statistics. कभी भी utilize कर सकते हैं. मान लो अगर हम planning की बात करें तो the Indus Valley planning was better than all the rest of the civilization. If we talk about geography, this was the largest civilization. If we talk about secularism, so it does not have any kind of perceptible kind of religious structure. So it means it was the most secular organization among all of them. That's why whenever we see Indus Valley civilization, तो थोड़ा सा compare करो बाकी civilization के साथ, you'll get to know better things. And if we see our civilization, the Indus Valley civilization, so if please see the time period, it is divided into three parts. The first part, it is known as early Harappan, then we have mature, and finally we have is late Harappan. Okay, the first part is from 3300 to 2600 BC, then from 2600 BC to 1900 BC is the mature Harappan, and finally the late Harappan from 1900 to 1300 BC. This is the most important timeline, please remember it. Now the Indus Valley civilization represents the first phase of urbanization in India. I hope that is very clear to all of you. While the civilization was in its peak, several cultures, namely Mesolithic, Neolithic, etc., all of them, they prevailed in other parts of India. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि Indus Valley when it started in northwest part of India, तो सारा इंडिया एक साथ में civilization की तरफ चल दिया. That is not how it is. Okay, the other parts took their own time. If we see the script, what is the meaning of this? अगर आप बता सकते हो तो नोबेल प्राइज आपको मिल जाएगा. ठीक है, कम से कम इंडिया में तो कुछ ना कुछ बड़ा अवार्ड मिल जाएगा. पद्मश्री टाइप तो दे ही देंगे. If you're able to come up with this, भारत तो बड़ा हो जाएगा, but still it is still undeciphered, and that's a major challenge for us. So whenever we study Indus Valley civilization, it becomes very challenging to come out with any फाइनल ओपिनियन। इस चीज को ध्यान रखो। देखो हिस्ट्री राइटिंग इज ऑल अबाउट क्रिएटिंग आर्गुमेंट्स, इट्स नॉट अबाउट कमिंग अप विद द फाइनल आंसर, बिकॉज आर्गुमेंट्स आर ऑलवेज गोइंग टू बी लेफ्ट एंड राइट। एंड इस केस में तो वो बिल्कुल कभी कभार हाइपोथेटिकली हो जाता है सब कुछ, बिकॉज विद नथिंग नो एज ऑफ conclusive. Like if somebody asks you what is the nature of Harappan state or what is the nature of Indus Valley civilization, it's so difficult to answer. It's so difficult to answer. हमेशा बच के आंसर करना पड़ता है, because eventually कुछ आउटकम है ही नहीं. Let us now see. So this is the area. Okay, this is roughly the area where we have the Indus Valley civilization. It covers roughly the whole of Pakistan. Okay, and if you see India, at least the northwest part of India, it was a part of the Indus Valley civilization. If we see the area under its control, so if this is the area which was under its control, around 1.3 million square kilometer, which is larger than Pakistan naturally, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान से तो सीधा ही बड़ा ही है, and certainly bigger than ancient Egypt as well as Mesopotamia. So this was the largest civilization that we had during the ancient time in any part of the world. And that is something which you need to remember. You can utilize it in your introductions of the questions. Okay, वहाँ पे लिख सकते हो इसके बारे में. मैप प्लीज बनाना सीख लो. मैप जितना अच्छे से बनाना सीखोगे उतना अच्छा रहेगा, because whenever we explain its origin, whenever we explain its decline, it's always better to make a map along with it. And whenever you write something, like you talk about something, तो साथ में उसका जिस जगह से मिला है, we should write that also, because all the information is on the basis of archaeology. अगर मान लो हमें मोहनजोदड़ो से ग्रेट बाथ मिला, दैट डज नॉट मीन कि हर सिटी में ग्रेट बाथ थे. सो व्हेनेवर यू राइट अबाउट ग्रेट बाथ, यू शुड राइट अलोंग विद इट वी हैव फाउंड फ्रॉम व्हिच प्लेस, मोहनजोदड़ो, एंड दैट यू कैन इजीली मार्क इन द मैप आल्सो. वहां भी बना सकते हो. नाउ लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड लिटिल बिट ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग अबाउट दिस. फर्स्ट थिंग व्हिच वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड इज द नोमेनक्लेचर. सो व्हिच कीवर्ड इज द बेस्ट? बहुत सारे यूज होते हैं टू डिस्क्राइब दिस सिविलाइजेशन. इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन तो यूपीएससी एग्जाम देखोगे वहां भी ये लिखा हुआ है. somebody talks it the Saraswati civilization, some call it Harappan civilization. So if we go by archaeologist convention, archaeology में क्या रहता है कि जो फर्स्ट साइट मिलता है उसके बेसिस पे इस सिविलाइजेशन को नाम दिया जाता है. तो बेस्ट अगर आप यूटिलाइजेशन कर जाते हो, विच इज ऑल्सो अकेडमिकली करेक्ट, सो द आंसर इज ऑलवेज गोइंग टू बी हरप्पन सिविलाइजेशन. कभी इंटरव्यू में पूछा जाए तो उस चीज को आप ध्यान रख सकते हो. राइटिंग के लिए फर्क नहीं पड़ता, राइटिंग के लिए फर्क नहीं पड़ता, कोई भी लिख लियो, यू कैन यूटिलाइज इट synonymously. Okay, it was called Harappan because this civilization was discovered first in 1921 and the site of Harappa situated in the province of West Punjab was the first one. If we talk about the history of the archaeology itself, the first person who visited this area, it was Charles Mason. Okay, he was a railway engineer, went there in 1826. का यहाँ कुछ नहीं, सब बकवास है, ठीक है. So it required 100 more years for the discovery of the Indus Valley civilization. Why? Because he was not aware about what it was. After him, Amri was seen by Alexander Burns in 1831. ऐसे ऐसे facts ना prelims में बहुत important है कि कौन वहाँ पे पहले गया, etc etc, all those things. Site of Harappa was destroyed for laying the railway line from Lahore to Multan. In fact, its bricks were taken away. है ना, उनको मिला है अच्छी जगह यार, आराम से ब्रिक मिली हुई है ना, बनानी भी नहीं पड़ रही है, घर बन जाएगा ऐसे, रेलवे लाइन अच्छी बन जाएगी. The seal from this site reached Alexander Cunningham. Alexander Cunningham, he was the Director General of Archaeological Survey of India. In fact, the first DG or Director General, first surveyor of ASI also. Then the Harappan culture covered parts of Punjab, Haryana, Sindh, Baluchistan, Gujarat, Rajasthan, and the fringes of West UP. Okay, so West UP. So we need to understand कि अगर हम बात करें इसकी डिस्कवरी की, डिस्कवरी से पहले काफी लोगों का रोल रहा है. चार्ल्स मेसन वाज देयर, अलेक्जेंडर बर्न्स वाज देयर, देन अलेक्जेंडर कनिंघम वाज देयर, देन देयर वर सर्टेन इंपॉर्टेंट पर्सनालिटीज, ओके, व्हिच वी नीड टू रिमेंबर, राइट. अलेक्जेंडर कनिंघम, he visited the site in 1853, 56, 75, but the importance of the site and associated were not realized unless the work of Sir John Marshall. Sir John Marshall was going to be the most important personality, and during the time of Sir John Marshall, eventually we'll see the discovery of the Harappan civilization. Then later on, after John Marshall, the major role was played by Mortimer Wheeler. He carried forward the process of the understanding of Harappan civilization, and lots of research and discovery happened during his time. So suppose if in prelims they ask you a question, which of the following personalities are linked with the discovery of Harappan civilization, or for the better understanding of Harappan civilization, so you should know about John Marshall as well as Mortimer Wheeler. These two are very important. The area is very clear to all of you, कहाँ पे इसका civilization बना है, ठीक है? If you see the major cities, okay, so the most major cities that we have at this point of time, it is Harappa, and but it is in the Punjab part of Pakistan. This is the area, okay. Then we have Mohenjo-daro. This is in the Sindh region. Here, Dholavira, Lothal, Surkotada, all of them, they are in our Gujarat region. Gujarat, this is the region of Gujarat. Kalibangan, it is in Rajasthan. And if we go to Haryana, Banawali as well as Rakhigadi. Previously, Mohenjo-daro used to be the largest site of Indus Valley, but right now it is Rakhigadi. Future में change भी हो सकती है. It will just depend upon कहाँ पे हम excavation कर सकते हैं. Like excavation in itself is a very limited kind of tool. ना हर जगह possible नहीं है. If we talk about Harappan civilization, it is divided into, every city is divided into mostly two parts, except few areas like Dholavira. Dholavira also has a middle town, but mostly किस part में होता है? Upper town and lower town. The upper part is also known as citadel, है ना, or acropolis. This is the part of the city which was higher. It was known as citadel. It was used by the administrator most probably, and the great bath, granaries, all these massive structure, they're always in which area? Upper town. If you see lower town, this was the area towards the east. It was relatively more larger, and it was inhabited by the common people. So this is how the layout of the Harappan cities used to be. You can always make this table, okay, exam में बना सकते हो जब भी urbanization पे question आता है. This is how they were dividing. This is the citadel area towards the west, and this is the area of lower town. So these are the images we have taken from the themes in Indian history. वहाँ पे काफी अच्छे से उन्होंने बनाया हुआ है. This is the citadel and this is the lower town. This is how they have come out with the overall architecture of the site. If we talk about planning and construction, so number one, it was a very planned layout. Chessboard pattern was there, well organized, streets, drains, fortification, हर चीज इसमें है. Okay. Second, civic authority likely oversaw the planning. इनकी टाइम की अपनी कोई MCD रही होगी ना कोई तो होगा eventually, which have looked after. इनकी अपनी DDA होगी, है ना, जैसे दिल्ली में है. But they will have some sort of civic authority, because without civic authority ना कोई मानेगा नहीं. ये सब लोग आप भी जानते हो. अगर आपको बोले पूरी सिटी एक जैसी बनाओ, तो कुछ लोग तो निकलेंगे ना जो थोड़े से अलग तरीके के, नहीं हमारा थोड़ा डिफरेंट होना चाहिए, राइट. तो हम नहीं फॉलो करेंगे सिटी का प्लानिंग. दैट्स हाउ इट इज. Materials, they have used baked brick also, unbaked brick also, okay, and they mostly use the burnt bricks. Stones are also utilized in places like Dholavira. तो कुछ जगह stones भी उन्होंने यूटिलाइज किए गए हैं. ग्रिड पैटर्न का हम बात करें, as we already know, the cities they were divided into various kinds of blocks. Drainage system was very well developed, and they had used burnt bricks. Drainage system is something which is the most important achievement of the Harappans. Okay, उतना अच्छा ड्रेनेज सिस्टम आज भी नहीं है हमारी सिटीज में, एज ऑल ऑफ अस नो. एक दिन रोड बनाते हैं, नेक्स्ट दिन उसको खोलते हैं ना, कि कुछ गलत तो नहीं कर दिया हम लोगों ने. रोज इसको यही कर रहा, हमको देखते रहते हैं. एनीवे, housing, mud bricks houses, multiple floors. Some houses had bathrooms and drains also. Stairs suggest some of them also having upper floors. And finally, central courtyards were common. Some cities has some different parts also, like Mohenjo-daro. Every house, on an average, was having a well. So there are more than 700 wells in Mohenjo-daro. तो कुछ city specific changes भी ऐसा नहीं है कि it was having complete homogeneity. Homogeneity नहीं है. Okay, but at the same time, some common features are common to majority of the sites of Harappan civilization. Then the Great Bath. This is the structure that we talk about. Okay, the Great Bath. There are some features which you need to understand. First, I hope all of you know this is found at which place? Mohenjo-daro is the place where we found the Great Bath. It is a tank situated within a courtyard. The corridors were present on all four sides. Okay, the stairs were seen on the northern as well as the southern flank. It is well paved with several adjacent rooms. Some structures are identified even as granary, and most important thing that they have used gypsum mortar. So waterproofing has also been done here. Okay, so that's why this is also considered as one of the important structure of Harappan civilization. We do not know exactly what was the major nature of this activity, है ना, कि स्विमिंग पूल था या फिर ग्रेट बात है वो नहीं पता हमको कि what it is about, है ना, कि रिक्रिएशनल एक्टिविटी के लिए था या स्पिरिचुअल एक्टिविटी के लिए था. That also we do not know. That depends upon what they were doing, है ना. अभी AI की एज शुरू हो गई, AI से बनवाएंगे कि हरप्पा वाले क्या कर रहे थे ना. Tell us. हमारी तो थोड़ी बहुत रिसर्च काम नहीं पा रही है. Anyway, now when we talk about their subsistence and economic production. We have to understand what kind of agriculture was practiced by them. So as all of us know, agriculture was the main source. Agriculture was the main source which was responsible, okay, which was responsible for their food, for their surplus also. So we see crops like cultivation of various crops including wheat, barley, lentils, chickpeas, sesame as well as millets. So there was a diversity of the crop cultivation. Surplus was created by this, which led to further development in this civilization. Third, if you see the cropping system, it was roughly डबल क्रॉपिंग सिस्टम, जैसे अभी भी हमारा रहता है, हमारा खरीफ और रबी रहता है. टूल्स इफ वी सी, सो दे प्लोइंग इज समथिंग व्हिच इज ओनली फाउंड एट वन और टू प्लेसेस. ज्यादा जगह हमें प्लोइंग मिली नहीं है. व्हिच आर द प्लेसेस वेयर वी फाउंड प्लोड फील्ड्स? सो कालीबंगन वी हैव फाउंड एंड टू सम एक्सटेंट वी हैव आल्सो फाउंड इट इन शोरतुगई. बस इन्हीं जगह पे हमें मिला है. बाकी जगह हमें टेराकोटा वगैरह मिला है, बट दैट डजंट काउंट फॉर डायरेक्ट यूटिलाइजेशन इन द एग्रीकल्चर, व्हिच मे इंडिकेट दैट दीज पीपल वर हैविंग नॉलेज ऑफ द प्लॉ, कि उसको यूटिलाइज कर सकते थे. इरिगेशन, यस, वी सी एलिमेंट्स ऑफ बोथ canal irrigation as well as flood irrigation. Both categories of irrigation were utilized by them, and there are few areas which are very famous for agriculture, like the area of Haryana, okay, and the area of UP, उन वेस्ट यूपी, वहां पे एग्रीकल्चर का बहुत ज्यादा मेन स्टे रहा है. वहां पे एग्रीकल्चर की बहुत ज्यादा डाइवर्सिटी भी मिली है. इज अ प्लेस नोन एज बालू, BALU, which is in Haryana, which gives the maximum number of crops in Harappan civilization. Okay, so we have to remember some of the sites also. Animal domestication, this remained very, very important. Okay, animal domestication was very important for them. Okay, so pastoralism was something which was practiced by Harappans. They domesticated various animals like sheep, goat, fowl, all of them. But one major exception was there. Horse was not known to them. We have found only one horse remain that comes from the place of सुरकोतड़ा, बट दैट डज नॉट टेल देम कि एक ही घोड़ा लेके पूरे हड़प्पा में घूम रहे थे. ठीक है, सो दे वर मोस्टली नॉट एक्वेंटेड विद हॉर्सेस. दैट इज व्हाट इज द ऑफिशियल लाइन सो फार. ओके, सो ज्यादा दिमाग मत लगाना प्रीलिम्स में. प्रीलिम्स में बस इतना याद रखना, दे वर नॉट एक्वेंटेड विद हॉर्सेस. एनीवे, they also ate fish, birds. Evidence of boar, deer and ghadial has been found in the Harappan side. So animal domestication was very, very important. They were also dependent upon marine resources. So fishing was there. Okay, so we have found even various levels of processing of seafoods from the Harappan civilization. So that shows that three categories of resources were used by them for survival purpose. First was agriculture, second was animal domestication, and third was the marine resources. So this is what was asked by UPSC in 2014. Do you think that the Harappans have diversity of subsistence base? This is the diversity. Subsistence base means production only for the consumption purpose mostly. Okay, and they have the diversity. Why? Because they are dependent. They are not just dependent upon agriculture. Because if agriculture some years there are cycles of drought, they can fall back to animal husbandry or they can depend upon the marine resources. So that's why it was more like an insurance. जैसे आज की डेट में भी बहुत सारा mix रहता है ना food with respect to food choices. So we were not just dependent upon agriculture. Even though agriculture was the most important, however, they were also having other forms of subsistence form of modes. Yes. Yes. तो allied activities ही होती हैं agriculture. Allied activities में आपका animal domestication आता है, and finally with respect to marine resources. Marine resources, it's a wider term than just fishes. Okay, so they can utilize many of them because many of the cities they were very close to the shores, है ना, तो वहाँ पे easily वो अपना marine resources को harness कर सकते हैं, utilize कर सकते हैं for food also. Okay, when we talk about craft production, it played a very important role. So craft is very important. Why? Because if you have to survive the secondary economic activity, वो किस basis पे बनती है? Craft के basis पे बनेंगी. Okay, you see any advanced economy today, they are advanced economy because they have the maximum number of प्रोडक्शन सिस्टम्स, है ना, किसी न किसी मोनोपोली है उनकी. लाइक इफ यू सी यूएसए, अगर आईफोन दुनिया में सबसे ज्यादा चल रहा है, दैट्स अ काइंड ऑफ प्रोडक्शन दैट दे हैव डन. द कंजम्पशन ऑफ द मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ रिच पीपल, है ना, आईफोन उन्हीं के पास पहुंचता है. सो एनीवे, फॉर हरप्पन्स आल्सो क्राफ्ट प्रोडक्शन वाज द की पार्ट ऑफ हरप्पन इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम बिकॉज दे वर एंजॉयिंग सरप्लस ऑफ ट्रेड, एंड व्हेनेवर देयर इज सरप्लस ऑफ ट्रेड, इट मींस यू आर हैविंग गुड प्रोडक्शन सिस्टम. इट्स नॉट लाइक टुडेज मॉडर्न इंडस्ट्री, बट दे वर हैविंग वेरियस काइंड्स ऑफ goods which could be easily sold and eventually they could get something back in return. So major crafts includes beads, ornament making, shell bangles, metal working. Materials includes carnelian, jasper, crystal, steatite, copper, bronze, gold, shell. Okay, bead designs includes various variety of shapes as well as decoration. export also has been seen, because these kinds of beads we have found from Mesopotamia, and there were various specialized centers also for this purpose. In fact, places like Lothal, okay, and Chanudaro, these two were very important places with respect to क्राफ्ट प्रोडक्शन. जैसे आज की डेट में हमारे इंडस्ट्रियल क्लस्टर्स होते हैं, है ना, जैसे कि कुछ कुछ स्पेसिफिक क्लस्टर, जैसे बात करें बेंगलुरु इज अ वेरी फेमस एरिया फॉर दिस, इवन एनसीआर एरिया इज फेमस फॉर दिस, ओके, या गुजरात में, महाराष्ट्र में इंडस्ट्रियल क्लस्टर्स हैं. Just for that, like that also, Harappans also had some important areas where maximum number of crafts were produced and then they were eventually exported. When you produce crafts, you also require certain form of raw material, and that raw material was also procured from various areas. So here we see like shell, it was procured from Nageshwar and Balakot. Lapis lazuli, as all of us know, it was from Shortugui or Afghanistan area. If you see steatite, it was from southern part of Rajasthan, Chuna Patthar. Carnelian, it would be taken from Lothal itself. And finally copper, Khetri mines that we have in Rajasthan, and Oman is another area from where they could find cotton. In fact, tin was also procured, and tin was from the area of Haryana. तो हरियाणा से उन्होंने tin procure करते थे. In fact, with respect to gold, if you see, gold was procured from the area of Karnataka, the Kolar mine है ना, KGF. Then the Harappans were skilled potters, crafting a wide range of different vessels, okay. Pots were typically a deep red color with a black painted design. The potteries are shaped like dish on stand, storage. तो different तरीके की pottery ये लोग बनाते थे depending upon the utility. Some could be for storage purpose, some could be for decorative purpose, some could be for some other purpose. Okay, depending upon that, so they were making it different form of pottery. Okay, and this pottery, it was well baked as well as fine in decorations. Okay. So they were able to create a very good economy for themselves, and that is something which is huge for us. These are the various kinds of potteries. In general, जो इनकी सबसे famous pottery उसको हम बोलते हैं black and red ware. That was the signature pottery of Harappan. But remember, that does not mean कि बस एक वही range थी इन लोगों के पास. Different forms of potteries have been found. Some potteries are of monochrome, एक ही color की है, जैसे कि red color की है. But some have polychrome, multiple colors are there, like black on red ware. Okay. They were skilled potters, and we see different kinds of jars with respect to this. Now, if you see metals, tools, weapons, in general, these weapons are relatively very less. The weapons are very less, and these are mostly of these weapons. जिनको हम weapons बोल रहे हैं, some of them they are multi-purpose. जैसे कि knife है, knife can be used in kitchen also. Does not mean that you are a killer. Okay, that is the situation with Harappans also. So they have very few arrowheads, spearheads, celt or axe, very few of them, and many of them they were utility tools, because we have not found any intention of warfare. Warfare की कोई intention हमें दिखी नहीं है. We have not seen any example of having a very systematic or designed army. वैसा कोई system हमें मिला ही नहीं है Harappan civilization में. So naturally their weapon system was very weak, and that is probably one of the limitation also for this civilization. And we do not know exactly how it ended, but if we believe the Aryan invasion theory, even though that's a very weak theory, but that shows that these people were peace loving and they could not handle the onslaught of the Aryans. Even though the theory is weak, but hypothetically speaking, those civilizations which are weak with respect to weapons, they could be easily taken over by the others. So here in this case we see that these were peace loving people, है ना, सब अच्छा कुछ चल रहा था इनकी लाइफ में. They belong to the Bronze Age civilization, and as all of us know, they were utilizing both copper as well as bronze tools. They include shirt blades, copper object, bone, ivory tools. So various categories of tools were manufactured by them, and these were utilized for multiple purposes, including selling them to the outside. If we see trade and exchange, okay, they were not having coinage. Please remember that. Yesterday also we discussed the beginning of the coinage starts from which age? It starts from 6th century BC. Okay, it starts from 6th century BC. So Harappans as well as Vedic Aryans did not have any kind of coinage. ये गलती कभी नहीं करनी है, fundamental. That is very clear. So they were mostly doing trade on the basis of barter system. Okay. Next, if we see that we found their materials from Sumerian sites in Oman, Bahrain, Iraq, Iran, and the word Meluha, as we have just discussed, this is found in the records of the King Sargon. King Sargon से मिलता है the word Meluha. That shows that they were having a very wide network of trade and exchange. However, this was more like, you have to understand, regional area में ज़्यादा penetration था than the ओवरऑल एरिया ऑफ मेसोपोटामिया, आसपास के एरिया से ज्यादा ट्रेड होता था. That's why there is a word which is utilized that the Harappan cultural base was very strong. It means majority of the things which were required by the Harappans could easily be taken from the area around this, and it was not based upon its trade for its own सर्वाइवल. इसका एग्जांपल देखो, सिंपल देता हूँ. आप जितने भी ऑयल वाली कंट्रीज को देखते हो, उनकी इकोनॉमी किस चीज पर डिपेंडेंट होती है? सिर्फ ऑयल की सेलिंग पे होती है. ठीक है, जैसे कि हम एग्जांपल देते हैं वेनेजुएला का. वेनेजुएला में जैसे ही जो प्राइसेस होते हैं, अगर वो कम होते हैं तो उनकी इकोनॉमी खत्म, है ना, इकोनॉमी खत्म. अगले दिन से राइट शुरू, सब वेट कर रहे थे किस दिन जा रहा है, किस दिन जा रहा है, राइट. बट इन देयर केस दे वर इंटरनली स्टेबल. Why? Because the majority of the trade was in their own Harappan cultural area itself. That's why there are various historians who have talked about, like there is one Shirin Ratnagar. He says that the trade that the Harappans were enjoying with the Mesopotamian, it was neither direct nor intensive in nature. ठीक है, तो वो हमें याद रखना पड़ेगा, बाद में उसके बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे. शिरीन रत्नागर सेज कि भाई नहीं बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट था, चक्रवर्ती सेज इतना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं था. तो उनके बीच में एक डिबेट चलता है विद रिस्पेक्ट टू कि भाई हड़प्पा का डिक्लाइन क्या उसकी ट्रेड के डाउनफॉल से हुआ है. कैन वी कम टू दैट काइंड ऑफ अ कंक्लूजन? बिकॉज इन टुडेज वर्ल्ड इफ वी सी मेनी कंट्रीज आर बिल्ट लाइक दिस. लाइक इफ वी सी चाइना, चाइना इज ओवरली रिलाइड ऑन इट्स एक्सपोर्ट मॉडल. इंडिया का एक्सपोर्ट एज अ परसेंटेज ऑफ जीडीपी इज वेरी लेस. अगर हम $500 बिलियन के आसपास एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं, हमारी इकोनॉमी $3 ट्रिलियन के आसपास की है, तो आप परसेंटेज में निकाल सकते हो कि हाउ मच इज द वैल्यू ऑफ आर एक्सपोर्ट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू आर ओवरऑल जीडीपी. बट अब चाइना में अगर आप देखोगे, द एक्सपोर्ट वैल्यू इज ह्यूमंगस, बिकॉज उसकी पूरी इकोनॉमी किस बेसिस पे बनी है? एक्सपोर्ट लेड इकोनॉमी पे. तो जो एक्सपोर्ट लेड इकोनॉमी होती है, दे आर बाउंड टू डिक्लाइन व्हेन द ट्रेड इज गोइंग टू डिक्लाइन. लेकिन इंडिया के केस में ऐसा होना पॉसिबल ही नहीं है, बिकॉज आर इकोनॉमी इट्स बिल्ड ऑन डोमेस्टिक कंजम्पशन. हम खुद ही खा पी के अपने इकोनॉमी को बढ़ा लेते हैं, है ना. बाहर ज्यादा वेट ही नहीं करते कि बाहर वाले लोग के बढ़ाएंगे, हम अपने आप 8% पे ले जाएंगे ना. आज हम 8% और चिप्स खाते हैं ना, हर साल थोड़ा थोड़ा बढ़ाते चले जाएंगे. सो दीज काइंड्स ऑफ इकोनॉमी, द सेम इज विद इंडस आल्सो. इंडस वाज नॉट जस्ट सस्टेन्ड बाय इट्स डायरेक्ट ट्रेड विद मेसोपोटामिया. तो अगर कोई भी आके हिस्टोरियन बोलता है just because the trade declined and that's why the civilization declined, that is not going to work out, because even today we see the India's economic structure and it's not going to have any kind of direct relationship with it. Materials we have discussed कि हर specific area से कुछ ना कुछ हम import कर रहे थे. like Shortugui, it was known for the right of the just the lapis lazuli or the blue stone. Carnelian, it was taken from the area of Bharuch. Steatite from southern Rajasthan, North Gujarat also. Metals like copper from Khetri mines. Ganeshwar was a contemporary culture, so Ganeshwar से भी काफी चीजें import करते थे. Okay. Another area for procuring raw material may have been to send expeditions to areas like Khetri region of Rajasthan, South India for gold, like we all of us know about kolar. So अलग अलग area से अलग अलग चीजें ये लोग लेके आते थे, and that is something which is important for the Harappans. Okay, so this is roughly which you need to remember. If we see the trading network, so if we see Mesopotamia, तो इनके डायरेक्ट रूट नहीं था. It was always through Magan, Dilmun, and then it used to go towards Mesopotamia. And even अगर हम लैंड का बात करें, तो हड़प्पा से एल्टन दे पे, then they used to go to Mesopotamia. So nobody can say that they are having direct trade with Mesopotamia. Direct route नहीं था. It was always through this. So that's why they were not just dependent upon the Mesopotamians for their trade purpose. Okay, now the influence, like the Harappan seals, they were mostly having the shapes of either square or they were having rectangular shape. But the Mesopotamians, they were having the cylindrical. So that's why when we see these kinds of seals, it means that the relationship of the trade can be easily established with the Mesopotamians. So कभी कभार examples आपके लिखने हो, you can see that this cylindrical seal typical of Mesopotamian, but the humped bull motif which we found this in it appears to be derived from the Indus region. It means there has been a cultural exchange. Okay. And you see this round Persian Gulf, it is found in Bahrain. Okay, and this carries the Harappan motifs. Interestingly, locals Dilmun ways followed the Harappan standard. So Dilmun में भी जो weights का standard था वो कौन सा follow कर रहे थे? वो Harappans का weight का standard. So there is a very big understanding. जैसे इंडिया में देखो, इंडिया के आसपास जो भी countries relatively weaker हैं, you can see Nepal also, or you can see the Bhutan also. They use our own currency. वो हमारे standards को utilize करते हैं directly. That could be because of the way of it has developed over centuries. जैसा custom हुआ तो उसी system को उन्होंने allow कर दिया. So if we see their weights and measures also, they have developed scientific weights and measures for themselves. ओके, क्यूबिकल शर्ट्स वेट्स बनाते थे ये, एंड रेशियो यूज टू बी देयर लाइक 1:2:4, तो बाइनरी नंबर ये यूटिलाइज करते थे, डेसिमल सिस्टम भी यूटिलाइज करते थे, बट दोनों अलग अलग पर्पस के लिए था ना। 16th का जो रेशियो था उसको भी यूटिलाइज करते थे। तो डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द काइंड ऑफ कमोडिटी डिफरेंट सेट्स ऑफ वेट्स वर यूटिलाइज बाय देम। जैसे आज भी हम देखते हैं तो वेट्स का सिस्टम वो काफी ज्यादा स्टैंडर्डाइज है, एंड कॉमर्स कैन नॉट हैपन विदाउट हैविंग स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन ऑफ वेट्स एंड मेजर्स, है ना, किस बेसिस पे करेंगे नहीं तो। That's why that standardization was there and they utilized it for that purpose. Various kinds of seals are there, like this seal is very famous one. This is the seal of Proto-Shiva. That is the seal of Proto-Shiva. That is a very famous one. Seals are very, very important. In general, the most important work of the seals, okay, it was authentication of property. However, these seals have different kinds of inscription, they have different kinds of pictures. That's why they also tell us something about the socio-cultural lives of the हड़प्पन्स। तो इसके ऊपर कभी कभार यूपीएससी में क्वेश्चन भी आता है कि व्हाट इज द स्पेसिफिक काइंड ऑफ रोल ऑफ दीज सील्स एंड सीलिंग्स। सो वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द सील दे वर मेड ऑफ व्हिच स्पेसिफिक मटेरियल, दे वर मेड ऑफ स्टीएटाइट, स्टीएटाइट से बनाया जाता था इनको, बट इन सम केसेस इवन दे हैव यूज्ड मेटल्स लाइक सिल्वर्स को भी यूटिलाइज किया गया है उसको बनाने के लिए। ओके, द शेप वर मोस्टली स्क्वायर और रेक्टेंगुलर, बट इन सम केसेस एज वी हैव ऑलरेडी सीन दे आर आल्सो सिलेंड्रिकल अंडर द इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ मेसोपोटामिया। But the most important part है of all the seal system, it is the commerce, it is not just about any form of religion. If we see their arts, so different kinds of arts are there, like we have the priest king, we have the dancing girl, all those which we have found from Harappa. But in general जो इनका work है, this terracotta arts जो वगैरह जो है, it is not that much refined. Okay, इतना अच्छा उन्होंने refine उसको नहीं किया हुआ है. Okay, faith and belief system, if we see, so there are multiple things which we know about their religion. Like if we see the most important part of the religion that we can know of, it is known as mother goddess. Okay, the mother goddess, and this was also established by John Marshall. John Marshall, he went through various areas of Harappan civilization. He realized that there are lots of discarded figures of mother goddess. So we do not know exactly if this was the chief deity. ये NCERTs में नहीं लिखा है. If this is the chief deity or this was a form of some ritual. जैसे कि हम लोग temples में जाते हैं ना, those who follow Hinduism, they go to temples, प्रसाद चढ़ाते हैं, है ना, after the prasad what happens, whatever we are taken that gets discarded and वो साथ में डाल देते हैं पुजारी, है ना, कि एक बार बस नारियल फोड़ेंगे and they give the offering to the god and eventually it is discarded. So we have found majority of these mother goddess figurines in discarded form. So it looks like it was more of a ritual rather than a chief goddess. Okay, like we have various kinds of such activity, religious activity even till today. जैसे गणेश चतुर्थी आप सब लोग जानते हैं, है ना, eventually the images of गणेश जी उनको परवाह कर देते हैं, that they're taken to the holy bodies. So that kind of ritual it seems like they had for the mother goddess. So understanding the religion it requires lots of intricacy. It's not just about, because NCERT में directly देना ठीक है mother goddess काम खत्म. But when we understand the religion from the perspectives of everyone, we come to a realization it is difficult to call it as the chief goddess. It may be that this was the most popular form of ritual. It could be most popular form of ritual. Okay, जैसे कि आज के डेट में देखते हैं हम, है ना, कोई भी नया चीज होता है सबसे पहले नींबू और मिर्च आ जाते हैं, है ना, तो that is the number one ritual of India, right? बाकी सब पीछे रह जाता है. That is number one ritual. Because क्यों? Because something for good you require, ना, you have to cast off. बुरी नजर नहीं लगने देंगे, बाकी सब देखा जाएगा. So that's way we have to understand here also कि mother goddess may have been a very popular part of the rituals rather than the chief goddess of the Harappan civilization. But अब इसके ऊपर फिर counter कहाँ से आता है? Counter comes from the other Chalcolithic cultures. Like we have other Chalcolithic cultures also, like we have the Jorve culture, we have the Kayatha cultures. In those cultures also we find the figurine of mother goddess, not of exact like that, but mother goddess has played an important role. So that's why on all these agricultural societies they have a fertility cult. So what we come to a realization, since they were the earliest civilization which were dependent upon agriculture, which were dependent upon the fertility of the soil, that's why they got linked to mother goddess in one way or the other. That's why जब भी हम पढ़ते हैं religion, तो we should have appreciation of various kinds of customs, उसको समझना चाहिए. Then people tree, so that gives an understanding. So yes, nature worship was a part of Harappan civilization. Even till today it is a part of the Hinduism. Hinduism has diverse practices. Then fire altars or Havan kunds, they can be found from areas like Kalibangan. So what we understand, yes, there could be some sacrificial offering also. If we see the burial systems, so the burial system, okay, it was of various kinds. It was about the extended burial also, कि पूरा after death they were burying, but in some cases they were first going for cremation, and मतलब or the body was offered to the fire god, and then eventually the remains they were buried. So different kinds of burial systems are also there. In some places we do find burial of a man and woman together. So some people they say that this was the recognition of which system? Sati system. Okay, but however, as all of us know, even in our scriptures, the first जो हमारा एविडेंस आता है सती का वो बहुत लेट है. वो कौन से पीरियड में आता है? गुप्ता पीरियड में जाके आता है. उसके बारे में पता चलता है हमें. इंस्क्रिप्शन भी जो है ईरान इंस्क्रिप्शन, आई होप ऑल ऑफ यू नो अबाउट इट. सो दैट गोज टू द 6th century. So how can we just put an imagination of 6th century AD on your 200 5000 है ना 5000 years पहले भी हम उसको impose कर दें? So it's difficult to come out to that conclusion. Just on the basis of some burial system. Some historians say कि जगह नहीं होगी ज़्यादा, है ना, there was less place, है ना, तो eventually they said साथ में करो, है ना, that's the end of it. Eventually after death you do not require much space. So it depends what is the exact reality. So we do not know. We cannot come out with final conclusion on anything because we do not have a connected history of Harappans. हमारे पास सिर्फ क्या है? आर्कोलॉजी है. आर्कोलॉजी सिर्फ पॉइंट करती है ऐसा कुछ पॉसिबल है. इन सम केसेस आर्कोलॉजी इज द बेस्ट. लाइक इफ यू सी अबाउट द टेक्नोलॉजी कि किस लेवल का कॉपर यूज करते हैं, ब्रॉन्ज यूज करते हैं, दैट कैन बी इजिली सीन फ्रॉम archaeology. But when it comes to what was their specific religion, what was the importance they were giving to mother goddess, what was their importance to people tree, what was the importance to fire altars, that becomes difficult to understand only on the basis of archaeology. And that's a very big if factor. What if कि हम जो interpretation कर रहे हो बाकी चीजों से बिल्कुल अलग हो. We found various kinds of deities even on their potteries. Places like Côte d'Ivoire, उनके horn deities हैं, okay, deities with horn, और जो gods हैं. So that are also found. People who have been buried, their ornament, jewelry, copper mirror, beads, etc. have also been buried along with them. So this is the belief which we say belief in the life after death. तो वो वाला चीज भी it is very much possible in the case of Harappans. Okay, so these are the various systems which we know about them. This whole research about the Harappan religion, it was done by John Marshall in 1931. And he outlined what is the basic aims of the Harappan religion. So he came to an understanding, but it is very diverse, just like Hinduism. So the elements of Hinduism which will come later on may be directly linked to Harappan civilization. That's why there is a very big stake with respect to this statement that all other civilization of the world, they have seen some kind of shunting, they have seen some kind of incongruency in the later times, but the Harappan civilization has seen continuity. ये साथ में चलती रही है. Because many of the things which are from here with respect to religion, with respect to the other aspects, with respect to dressing patterns, all those areas with respect to agriculture has completely continued. These kinds of questions are coming in our mains examination in general studies. 2015 में question पूछा गया था that one of the most unique thing about the Harappan civilization is that this civilization has mostly continued. So what do we see? Harappan civilization decline. What is the meaning of civilization? It means script and urbanization, but the Harappan culture continued. That's why these kinds of statements are used with respect to this civilization in general. जब भी civilization की बात करें तो ये चीज आपको याद ही रखना है. Then if we talk about their polity, nothing is known about their polity. That is the reality. ठीक है, बहुत लोगों ने बहुत कहानी सुनाई है. Stuart Piggott says that it was an empire. बहुत बड़ा empire था ये. ठीक है, empire was having two capitals, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Alright, because वो तब तक उतने ही हुआ था. आज अगर स्टुअर्ट पिगेट होते वो कहते राखेगढ़ी was their capital because राखेगढ़ी is the biggest city that we know today. So it was just hypothetical. These are speculations that we have. Okay, but then comes a person, Walter A. Fairservice. Okay, it was not an empire. It was ये तो village था, ये तो पंचायत वाले लोग थे, है ना? Because इंडिया में पंचायत सबसे ऊपर है, सबसे टॉप पे पंचायत है, फिर जब बाकी सब देखा जाएगा. They said it was a village administration. Then somebody says no, it's Jacobson said it is an early state. Early state means whenever we say use the word state, state has four characteristics. Okay, as all of us know that whenever we talk about state, it has four characteristics, which includes a defined territory. In this territory, we have a set of people who are residing in it. Then we have a government, and this government is going to enjoy a sovereignty with respect to this. So when somebody uses the word early state, it means that somehow either the government has not evolved to that level, or with respect to sovereignty, the government is not having extreme sovereignty or complete sovereignty. So different people say different kinds of things, nobody knows. हर कोई बस सोच रहा है ऐसा कुछ पॉसिबल है, ऐसा कुछ पॉसिबल है, ठीक है. बट वन थिंग विच इज वेरी क्लियर, लुक, वेन एवर वी कैन नॉट कम आउट टू अ डायरेक्ट आंसर, दो कीवर्ड्स आपको हमेशा याद रखने हैं हिस्ट्री में. वन इज सेंट्रीपीटल, द सेकेंड इज सेंट्रीफ्यूगल. At least we can tell which tendency is predominant in the kind of polity that we are talking about. So if we see Harappa has which kind of tendency? Centripetal. Otherwise system of planning, uniform weights and measures, एक जैसा ही ब्रिक लेके घूम रहे हो 1:2:4 के रेशियो में. How is that feasible without a centripetal kind of part, है ना. क्राफ्ट्स जो इनकी काफी ज्यादा एक जैसी हैं. So फिर उसके बेसिस पर काफी लोगों ने नई कहानी सुना दी. That Harappan civilization, it was ruled by the merchants. Okay, it was ruled by the guilds. Guilds organization इस पर चला रही थी. So it's so difficult to talk about Harappan polity, even though ये NCERTs में ये सब चीजें नहीं दी हुई हैं. But one thing is very clear: uniformity in pottery, seals, weights, bricks reveal the existence of a polity. Labor mobilization may also suggest the existence of a political system. Because देखो initially जब भी बड़ी cities बनी हैं, they were built on the basis of labor, on the basis of slaves, है ना, उन सबको यूटिलाइज करके बनी है. हड़प्पा एंड मोहनजोदड़ो might have had city state like polity. The uniformity in the cultural material and measurement unit point to a central authority during the Harappan times. So what do we see कि कुछ तो authority थी, and that may have centripetal tendency rather than centrifugal. However, we cannot comment if this was an empire, if this was run by village administration, if it was run by corporation, if it was run by some guilds, वो किसी को नहीं पता. ये सब कहानियां हैं. और as all of us know, the whole theory of bearded priest ruling over the Harappan civilization, that is a myth. Okay, because directly कहाँ से बोरो कर रहे हैं? Mesopotamian से, जिसका कोई लॉजिक नहीं है. Okay, then ये हमने एक बार पहले भी बात किया था. Then we were discussing कि कैसे NCERT से काफी क्वेश्चन आते हैं. That now the recent researchers are saying that the Harappan civilization may have been linked to द्रविडियन लैंग्वेज. इससे काफी सारे इसके लिंकेजेस पॉसिबल हैं. कंक्लूसिव नहीं है, बट रिसर्च चल रही है इसके ऊपर. एंड दैट इज सिंस तमिलनाडु के एनसीईआरटी है तो लिखे तो गए एक बार, है ना. कम से कम अपने रीजन का एरिया तो बताना पड़ेगा कहाँ से लिंक्स हैं हमारे. एनीवे, सो आर्कियोलॉजिकल एविडेंस शोज मूवमेंट ऑफ हड़प्पन टू द ईस्ट एंड साउथ आफ्टर डिक्लाइन ऑफ देयर सिविलाइजेशन व्हिच मे बी लिंक्ड टू दिस द्रविडियन. And some of the Harappan people could have moved into different parts of India. However, only the decipherment of the script would give us a definite answer. So everything becomes a hypothesis unless it is proven to a certain level. So hypothesis है, अब पता नहीं exactly किस level तक सच है, किस level तक झूठ है. Then this is nothing. इसके बाद हमने specifically यही बात करना है कि when we compare the Indus Valley civilization with the Tamil civilization, because the Tamil civilization if we see वो काफी लेट में स्टार्ट हुआ है in comparison to the Harappa. So how do we compare it? Because during the same time at max, है ना, जो एक स्पेसिफिक पार्ट इनका शुरू हुआ था, दैट वाज अ पार्ट ऑफ मेगालिथिक बरियल सिस्टम. तो हम उसको किस तरीके से रिकंसाइल करेंगे, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी अ चैलेंज फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस. एंड नेचुरली इफ some kind of connection can be built between the Harappan civilization and the Dravidian, eventually the whole history will be rewritten. Because आज तक नॉर्थ इंडिया वाले लोग खुश हैं, because we are the creators of the first civilization of South Asia. But the moment things will change, है ना, तो फिर कब खत्म वापस, it will become towards south and again will come back to नहीं हम 6th century BC वाले लोग हैं. So it's just the currents of history. We do not know exactly who are the makers of Harappan civilization. It will depend upon the decipherment in the future. As we have discussed that there were large number of contemporary cultures which were there along with the Harappan civilization. अब हम उनके बारे में बात करेंगे rather than the Indus Valley, जो हमने ऑलरेडी काफी इसके बारे में बात कर लिया है. Then एक specific historiography है about the decline of Harappan civilization. Today the most accepted theory with respect to the decline of Harappan civilization, it is ecological imbalance theory. Ecological imbalance का logic ये है, these people were utilizing resources at a very higher rate, and this theory comes from Walter A. Fairservice. He is the person who has come up with this theory. But इस theory से बहुत पहले एक theory आती थी जो बहुत famous थी, that was the theory of Harappan invasion or the Aryan invasion. This theory eventually comes from the research of John Marshall. So John Marshall, what he was doing, as I told you previously also, कि whenever we go for excavation, there are two categories of excavation. एक आपकी vertical होती है, एक आपकी horizontal होती है. Okay, so John Marshall, whatever methods he was utilizing, they were not correct because vertical करके बोलते सब कुछ मिल गया हमें, अब बताओ आगे क्या क्या interpretation करना है इसका. And that was a very big mistake. And as a result of this, they found large number of skeletons. और उस पूरी लेन को इन्होंने क्या नाम रख दिया? डेड मैन लेन ना, पूरी लेन है ना, इस गली में बहुत स्केलेटन्स मिले हैं हमें, तो ये कौन सी जगह बन गई? डेड मैन लेन. तो विद रिसर्चेस दे फाउंड हाउ मेनी स्केलेटन्स? 37 स्केलेटन्स इन लोगों को मिले. एंड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दैट अब कुछ ना कुछ तो उसको करना ही है. दे हैव फाउंड सम मटेरियल इन आर्कियोलॉजी, सम स्केलेटन्स. अब थियरी बना दो उसके ऊपर. So that theory eventually was created and this was created by Mortimer Wheeler. तो व्हीलर ने कहा चलो ठीक है, लेट अस नाउ स्टार्ट आवर वर्क, है ना, आपने हमें आर्कियोलॉजिकल एविडेंस दे दी, अब कहानी हम बनाते हैं. तो मोर्टिमर व्हीलर केम आउट विद द कनेक्शन विद ऋग्वेद. ओके, एंड दैट्स हाउ इट स्टार्ट. द वर्ड हरियूपिया, इट इज गिवन इन ऋग्वेद. सो दे सेड कि हरियूपिया यहाँ दिया हुआ है, और देखो हरियूपिया और हड़प्पा तो आसपास में है ना. सो दैट्स व्हाई देयर इज अ डायरेक्ट रिजेम्बलेंस बिटवीन दीज टू. Plus in Rigved we see the use of word Purandar. Purandar means destroyer of fort. So ठीक है कि हड़प्पन जितने भी इन लोगों ने स्ट्रक्चर्स बनाए हुए थे, they could be imagined as a fort, and that's why he said on the basis of this, on circumstantial evidence, Indra stands accused, कि इंद्रा ने गलती करी है. ठीक है. So this is how this theory of invasion was created. पहले skeletons मिले, फिर उसको पूरी स्टोरी को फिल किसने कर दिया? Mortimer Wheeler ने. अब प्रॉब्लम क्या था? The problem was at both level. The research was done by John Marshall. He found the skeletons, but these skeletons should be differentiated because ऐसा नहीं है ना कि अभी जैसे आप दिल्ली में if you start digging और excavation बिल्कुल नीचे तक चले जाओगे, है ना, कि 5-10 किलोमीटर, ज़्यादा में तो पूरा अर्थ के अंदर ही पहुंच जाओगे. But anyway, let us take 1 किलोमीटर तक जा रहे हो आप digging करते हुए. So the different kinds of material which you will find, they will belong to different periods. It's not like that कि अगर हम बस करते चले जाए वर्टिकल लेवल पे एक्सकवेशन एंड एवरीथिंग विल बिलोंग टू द सेम फेज. दैट वाज अ बिग मिस्टेक व्हिच वाज बीइंग कंडक्टेड बाय आवर जॉन मार्शल, एंड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दैट द थियरी वाज पुट फॉरवर्ड बाय आरएम व्हीलर और मोर्टिमर व्हीलर. दिस थियरी वाज इवेंचुअली चैलेंज्ड बाय जॉर्ज डेल्स. जॉर्ज डेल्स ने इसको चैलेंज किया. He said the evidence of a massacre in Mohenjo-daro, because Mohenjo-daro was the place where they found these 37 skeletons, okay, was questioned by an archaeologist. He demonstrated that skeletons found at the site did not belong to same period. कि यार कोई इनमें से नियोलिथिक के पीरियड का है, कोई मेसोलिथिक के पीरियड का है, या फिर हो सकता है इन द प्रीवियस टाइम दिस वाज द ग्रेवयार्ड, वहीं पे आपने सिटी बना दी, है ना, आपको पता ही नहीं चला, वहीं पे आप सिटी बना के बैठ गए. सो व्हाट टू डू नाउ? ओके, सो ही सेड दैट whereas a couple of them definitely seem to be indicated as slaughter, the bulk of the bones were found in context suggesting burials of the sloppiest and most irrelevant nature. So that's why there is no destruction level covering the later period of the city, no signs of extensive burning, no bodies of warrior clad in armor, because those who are fighters, they're bound to have some armor, kuch to bachega na, okay, and surrounded by the weapons of war, the citadel, the only fortified part of the city, yielded no evidence of a final defense. So on the basis of this whole Aryan invasion theory, this was not accepted. But then came the most definitive research. Okay, this research was done by Walter A. Fairservice, that the Harappan civilization declined not because of any invasion, that declined because of ecological imbalance. तो ये आपका NCERT में बहुत अच्छे से जो new NCERT है, themes in Indian history, उसमें अच्छे से इन्होंने डिस्कस किया है. From that we have taken this extract. Okay. इनिशियली अब जब हम रिसर्च करते थे, तो रिसर्च जब भी किसी सिविलाइजेशन के ऊपर करते थे तो बहुत सारे प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं. दिस वाज आल्सो विद रिस्पेक्ट टू कनिंघम. व्हेन कनिंघम बिकेम द डायरेक्टर जनरल, सो ही बिगेन दिस आर्कियोलॉजिकल एक्सकवेशन इन मिड 19th century, एंड दे यूज्ड द रिटन वर्ड्स, टेक्स्ट और इंस्क्रिप्शन एज अ गाइड टू इन्वेस्टिगेशन. इनफैक्ट हिज मेन इंटरेस्ट वाज इन द आर्कियोलॉजी ऑफ अर्ली हिस्टोरिक एंड देन द लेटर पीरियड. यूज द अकाउंट लेफ्ट बाय चाइनीज बुद्धिस्ट पिलग्रिम, उनको यूटिलाइज करते थे, हु हैड विजिटेड द सबकॉन्टिनेंट बिटवीन द 4th and 7th century, which includes Faiyan, Hunseng, etc. So he was using those records. So when they were doing researches, okay, so they were finding lots of problems. So he collected, documented, translated large number of inscriptions during his survey. When he excavated site, he tended to recover artifacts that he had thought he had a cultural value. And when he did for Harappa, he realized कि ये artifact तो 100-200 साल पुराने होंगे मुश्किल से. Okay, तो उनको समझ ही नहीं पाया exactly क्या इसका relevance होने वाला है. This eventually was understood later on, as we have already discussed. And this was done. The initial research was done by D.R. Sani. उन्होंने हड़प्पा पे excavate किया. Then comes R.D. Banerjee. R.D. Banerjee excavated the city of Mohenjo-daro. This so 1921 में हड़प्पा को excavate किया. 1922 में Mohenjo-daro was excavated, and finally in 1924, है ना, उसके 2 साल बाद a kind of directive final एक discovery की announcement थी. This came from जॉन मार्शल कि भाई हमें जो फाइंड किया पिछले 3-4 साल में, these are not isolated sites, these sites are a part of a overall civilization, and this is how Indus Valley civilization was announced to the world. तो ऐसे ऐसे कुछ अच्छी रिसर्चेस भी देखो NCERTs में दी हुई हैं, and we can utilize them for writing very good introduction, conclusions. Okay. अब जॉन मार्शल के साथ में क्या प्रॉब्लम था? As I told you, he tended to excavate along regular horizontal units measured uniformly throughout the mount, ignoring the स्ट्रेटिग्राफी, है ना, जो सामने दिख रहा सब कुछ खोद दो, and everything will belongs to the same period. This was the approach of John Marshall. This eventually was corrected to some level, and by understanding about the stratigraphic excavation, and this was done by Mortimer Wheeler, and they went for the surface exploration, and then also went for the international collaboration. काफी सारी जो बाहर की संस्थाएं थी, है ना, which were working in the archaeological field, they worked with them, and that's how Indian archaeology has developed over a period of years. And छोटी मोटी जैसे इसमें stratigraphy already we have discussed yesterday कि whenever we excavate any specific site, we should always see कि which specific part it belongs to, and on the basis of that we have to understand. Now with respect to Harappan civilization, the biggest problem that we have is the problem of interpretation. हर छोटी छोटी चीज का interpretation change होता है depending upon your point of view. So we includes like figurines of women. अब जो terracotta figurines of women है, we do not know exactly if that is mother goddess or if that's some form of ritual. We do not know even till today. Heavily jeweled, some with elaborate headdresses, पता ही नहीं है. They were regarded as mother goddesses. Rare stone statuary of men in an almost standardized posture, sealed with one hand on knee, such as the priest king. Similarly classified in other instances, structured which has been assigned a ritual significance, like the Great Bath, and these includes the Great Bath and the fire altars found at Kalibangan and Lothal. So lots of things that are just up in the air. हवा में बातें चल रही हैं, हमें भी नहीं पता कि exactly उसका meaning क्या है. We're just trying to build a kind of narrative with respect to Harappan civilization, and that is the biggest challenge with respect to this civilization, because until the script is going to get deciphered, final answers will always be eluded from our understanding, and that is one thing which we need to understand from the future point of view. तो इस वजह से हमें बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स आती है. वी आर नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड द रिलीजन, वी आर नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड मैनी अदर थिंग्स लाइक द स्पेसिफिक कल्चरल सिंबल्स क्या थे, द स्टेट सिस्टम. वी आर नॉट एबल टू गिव अ फाइनल पिक्चर. दैट्स व्हाई यूपीएससी पता है सिर्फ सबसे सिंपल क्वेश्चन पूछता है, अच्छा बताओ इनका ओरिजिन की थियरीज क्या है, उनकी डिक्लाइन की थियरीज क्या है. एंड दैट इफ यू सी द क्वेश्चन पेपर्स ऑफ लास्ट 10 years, मेजॉरिटी क्वेश्चन इन्हीं पे ही है. वाई? बिकॉज रेस्ट चीज़ों पे तो अभी भी सिर्फ ऊपर नीचे कहानी चल रही है. दैट इज अबाउट द हरप्पन सिविलाइजेशन. ठीक है, अगर हम इनकी बात करें विद रिस्पेक्ट टू स्क्रिप्ट, दीज आर द वेरियस काइंड्स ऑफ स्क्रिप्ट व्हिच वी हैव सीन. ओके, व्हाई द स्क्रिप्ट इज नॉट गेटिंग डिसाइफर्ड, उसके दो बहुत बड़े रीजन हैं. ओके, फर्स्ट वन इज द स्क्रिप्ट इन इटसेल्फ इज वेरी शॉर्ट. बहुत छोटी छोटी स्क्रिप्ट लिखते हैं, 5 साइन लिख के छोड़ दिया. ठीक है, जैसे अगर मान लो इफ आई राइट एन एसे ऑफ 1000 words, तो कोई पकड़ लेगा कि हाँ इसका मतलब ए हो सकता है, इसका एन द ये वर्ड बार बार यूज हो रहा है, तो रीड करके कुछ समझ में आ जाएगा, है ना. अभी इन्होंने तो कुछ 5 ही वर्ड पकड़ रखे, खत्म, इतना ही मैसेज है ना. जैसे हम जब वाइवा में क्वेश्चन पूछते थे हमसे, है ना, कि इसको समझाओ, सॉरी सर, सॉरी मैम. दैट्स हाउ द स्क्रिप्ट ऑफ हरप्पन सिविलाइजेशन है कि 4-5 शब्द निकलते हैं और खत्म कहानी. जो सबसे बड़ा भी हमें मिला है धोलावीरा साइन बोर्ड, उसमें भी 26 है मैक्सिमम. तो ये बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है इन डिसाइफरिंग दिस. The cracking of this Indus script which is going to require, I do not know what is going to require, someday maybe, है ना, different इनके साइंस वगैरह है, तो पता नहीं कब समझ में आएंगे हमें इवेंचुअली. बट एनीवे, अगर हम कंप्यूटर एनालिसिस करें तो there is a person known as Yuri Morozov. So he says that it is like Dravidian like ही वर्क ऑर्डर है इसके अंदर. If we go by the researches of Mahadevan, he also says that we may hopefully find that the Proto-Dravidian roots of Harappa language and South Indian Dravidian language are similar. Tamil Nadu Archaeological Department is also said that the script which we have found on the ports with arrowheads at places like Pumpuhar are resembling the seals in Mohenjo-daro. So अगर यूपीएससी आपसे कभी कोई 10 मार्कर क्वेश्चन या 15 मार्कर क्वेश्चन हड़प्पा से पूछता है विद रिस्पेक्ट टू देयर लिटरेसी, विद रिस्पेक्ट टू देयर स्क्रिप्ट राइटिंग सिस्टम, तो यहाँ से कुछ 1 2 3 पॉइंट हम ले सकते हैं, बिकॉज ये लेटेस्ट बुक्स में भी नहीं है, ठीक है। कुछ चीजें ऐसी हैं जो एनसीईआरटी में बेटर दे रखी हैं देन आर एडवांस बुक्स लाइक उपिंदर सिंह, एंड दिस इज वन ऑफ सच टॉपिक्स। तो यहाँ से आप कुछ चीजें याद कर सकते हैं किसका क्या स्पेसिफिक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, बिकॉज नेचुरली देखो दिस एग्जाम इज ऑल अबाउट क्रैकिंग। जो जिसको जितना जल्दी समझ जाएगा उतना जल्दी इसको पास कर लेगा, और आंसर राइटिंग में यही मैटर करता है कि आपने क्या 2 4 चीजें एक्स्ट्रा रेलिवेंट डाल दी हैं अपने आंसर में। उनके पास और कोई तरीका नहीं है ये जानने का कि आप लोग कितना अच्छा पढ़ते हो, क्लास में आते हो नहीं आते हो, इन सब से कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला। एक ही चीज फर्क पड़ता है, सामने लिखा क्या आप लोगों ने। एंड whoever is going to write better points with better research is bound to get more marks। ये आपकी ओवरऑल आर्कियोलॉजी की एक टाइमलाइन है। 1921 में एमएस वर्थ बिगेन एक्सकवेशन एट हड़प्पा, 25 में एक्सकवेशन मोहनजोदड़ो, 46 के आसपास मोर्टिबल वीलर ही लेड एक्सकवेशन, 55 एसआर राव बिगेन इंस्क्रिप्शन एट लोथल। So this has been the overall Dholavira में RF Beast has played a very important role because Dholavira came out to be very different sites in comparison to others, and as all of us know Dholavira has also been given the World Heritage status, उसको दिया गया है इसके लिए। All right, so this is what we were required to discuss for the Harappan civilization। अभी थोड़ा जल्दी से आगे वाला भी स्टार्ट कर लेते हैं।